Hello? 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 I gotta do a tweet. I did a tweet. Hi. I don't know what I'm doing. My leg hurts. I wonder if the Bastion soundtrack will get claimed by YouTube. Not that I care. Just curious. This bitch. Today we're editing Batman No Man Boy Part 3. Oops, where's Clover? There she is. Yoink. Oh, fuck. So, by all accounts, this is a bad idea. Because whenever I edit something on stream, it always goes horribly wrong. Because, what are you doing, Pietro? No. Pietro, no. It always goes horribly wrong because I end up making a lot of mistakes in the video. But I felt like editing, so. Or editing on stream. I was gonna edit anyway, but. Just gonna do it for a bit. I think I have a friend coming over later. But, what's I doing? I gotta look up, I gotta find a background image. Because train of thoughts are hard. Fuck! I'm bad at this, I'm sorry. Did I import the audio? Yeah. The version of No Man's Land we're using doesn't have the covers in between each issue. So, like, just to show you, like, this is where it starts. This issue. And I don't know what it is. There's a table of contents, and that's what I'm gonna go look at. But, so I gotta pull that table of contents up. I could just use an image from the actual book, but I don't generally like doing that for the thumbnails. Hello, White Knight. This is not lore drop. This is a complete story. Or it will be, once I begin. But right now, we gotta find a background image. And also, I have to check if the intro and outro for it has been recorded yet, because I don't think it has. But if it has, that'll make my life easier. So, we gotta load this comic up. If it would be so kind. Yeah, here we go. So, the last one we did was Azrael 51 and 52. And then these four are in between it. They're sandwiched in between those two Azrael issues. So, that's what we're going to look at for backgrounds and thumbnail image. Hi, Alyssa. I'm sorry you're working. What happened to Welcome to Lore Drop? I don't know. Ask Benny. We haven't done one in a while. I think EM is... this kind of sucks, but I might use it. I mean, it just sucks because it's small, but I can find the bigger version of it. EM is focusing on different content now. Maybe. No, not at all. Not using that one. I am working. This is true. Okay, so it's between these two. Let's see here. Ooh. Why is their textless version a higher res than the than the not textless version? We're probably gonna use this one purely because it's a textless, which just makes my life easier. Hello, Mr. Maximum Austin. That's small, so we might have to use the cover and edit it. That's small as well. Lovely. Are there bigger versions of this one on the internet? If I can't find any, then I will turn to other means. Alright, I'm gonna turn to other means real quick, but here, just look at that for a bit while I turn to some other means. I love being background noise. I feel like that's what most people do with these editing streams. Also, we are listening to the Bastion soundtrack. I know it is very quiet for you guys. But if I make the music the same, I just don't want to mix Premiere at a low level because I need to hear Premiere at maximum level. But you guys don't. Wait, no, there it is. Yeah, I'm committing tax fraud right now. You got me. What issue is this? 116? 116, 116, 116. Other means. Alright, other means located. None of this is incriminating. Just for safety's sake, because I don't know what I'm gonna like better. We're gonna find that one as well. Was this Shadow of the Bat? Reported. Wah, wah, wah. This bitch. '84. There she is. Okay. That never happened. Nobody saw anything. And nothing sketchy ever was reported. I do need to go check to see if there is an intro recorded, though. I should have done this before the stream, but bit of a scatterbrain, so. Intros. The only reason I'm not showing you this is because I don't think you guys need to see our Google Drive. Yeah, it has not been recorded yet. Okay. I'm gonna make sure Benny remembers. I'll DM him real quick. Sometimes he forgets till the last minute. And that's no fun for anyone, really. Okay, so now we can actually start editing. I'm not going to explain myself as I go. If you have any questions, as usual, just ask. Right now we're going to decide on a background. This one's a lot smaller, so that might be the deciding factor. But I also kind of suspect that this will look better in the thumbnail template that I've made. I use the background I try to match the background with the thumbnail generally. Very occasionally I won't do that. Bye, Alyssa. But again, that's very occasionally. So, I'm thinking I'm gonna use this one purely because you can see more of Scarecrow. And I won't have to get rid of this, which would be extra work. So that's our background. Slap the background preset on it. It's a little much blur because it's a bit of a smaller image. 8 was fine. Looks good to me. Alright. Now time for the audio editing, the part where I always screw up because of streams. But hey. that's what we gotta live with. Also, yeah, there is a previously.
We last left off in Batman No Man's Land. Gotham had been
Bit too big of a pause there.
Gotham had been overrun
Hello, extra
and
pizza.
pushed away from the entire United States. Forced to fend for themselves, everyone made gangs.
Sorry, the mic is like directly in my nose breathing path. I'm trying
and as the roaring
fix
fire
that.
cackles over the voices, everyone made gangs. And
Okay, so I just need one image for that. It's pretty... Here, I could show you this. There's no reason to not show you my file structure. So this is the Batman No Man's Land folder right now. So we're gonna go... Nope, we're gonna have to go back in part 1, because part 2 is Azrael. It's a little interlude. So, just go towards the end of the assets for Azrael, or Azrael for No Man's Land. Try and find something that... There's one like this maybe, but I didn't white that out completely. Probably just show Batman. Yeah, just use the last page of Batman doing his gang sign. Okay. So that's gonna go there. That's gonna start there. That's gonna go there. And now we can start the real process. Pull up my reference. This will be on my other monitor, but I keep this up, like a bigger version of, here, I'll just show you. So my second monitor, when I'm editing a complete story, looks like this, generally. So I've got music over here. This is all Premiere down here. So this is the essential sound panel and any markers. This is the audio track mixer, so I can add effects to entire tracks and control their levels and shit. And then this is my bin with all my images. This is where I actually pull things from. And I used to do it where, to get a preview so I could like find the image while I'm listening, I used to do this, but like they're big, but I still can't really see what's going on, so I just pull them up in Explorer and I just scroll along like this, so I can read the entire panel on a 4K monitor. It's very easy to see what the hell's going on. So yeah, that's what the hell that looks like. So if my mouse ever goes whoop, I'm just grabbing images and flipping, following along. I already did some like pre-research on this when I was finding the comics, so it's getting a little loud over there. So I know that this is the first image, but
and as the roaring
now
fire
listen,
cackles
cut,
over the voices of those throwing books into the pit, one man from afar watches in the shadows. Barbarians think.
How spoilery was yesterday's video because I liked it, but I never actually watched the whole thing. Somebody said in the comments that I was pretty vague about everything. I feel like I spoiled a few things, but I mean, I didn't like sit there and tell you like who died. I said people died, but I wasn't really clear on who. There weren't too many like plot points that I spoiled, you know, but I also wasn't trying not to spoil. I just reviewed the book, so whatever came up, you know what I mean?
Far watches in the shadows. Barbarian thinks to himself. He's never known a cold so bitter that it must be staved off with books. Scarecrow quietly watches as more books are collected and then notices one of them put aside. What book could be so important that they could not burn it? Ah, of course, the Bible.
The Bible.
The Bible.
Oh,
It is the Bible. It is time to enact the...
Let's see.
The Bible. It is time to enact the plan. The next morning, outside of the broken down... More books are collected and then notices one of them put aside. What...
So, here's an interesting behind-the-scenes decision that I'm making right now. This is the page that we're showing for that entire line, even when he says the Bible. The whole him looking and discovering the Bible bit happens right here. But that's context that you can kind of understand from this image. And something that we do with complete stories is try not to show, like, the entire comic. So we're not giving a comic away for free, you know? That's why we cut panels if we can. Pages like this, it's hard to cut panels because the layout is weird and there's a lot going on. Yeah, so basically the decision I just made was to not show this part because
staved off with books.
it would be showing up for this amount of time, which in the grand scheme of things is a really short amount of time for a whole page that can basically be summarized by one image in the previous page. So that's why I'm not showing that one. A little BTS there.
It is time to enact the plan. The next morning, out...
So now we move on, because there's a very clear, distinct next scene. He says, next morning.
The next morning, outside of the broken down church, Jonah tells Father Chris that he's almost done setting up the sign. However, they're going to need a tag, something to show the people of this block that it is protected. Father Chris has taken it upon himself to shelter those in need and provide safe haven from the...
Here's another good example. This is clearly going to be a talking scene for a while, and this is an establishing shot. You don't really need the establishing shot because the only thing that the establishing shot is accomplishing in this case is like the only thing that's happening in this establishing shot are the first few dialogue pieces, and like you would show that if it were a motion comic because you want your establishing shot, but this is not a motion comic. It's a sort of motion comic, but not really.
The next morning,
very, very funny, Ted.
Outside of the broken down church, Jonah tells Father Chris that he's almost done setting up the sign. However, they're going to need a tag, something to show the people of this block that it is protected. Father Chris has taken it upon himself to shelter those in need and provide safe haven from the evil that wanders the streets of Gotham. But as much as Chris refuses to fall under the protection of any one gang, there's one person trying her best to look out for them, the Huntress. There's also a third group who stay in the areas, and there's a splinter cell group of black masks, false facers, led by a man named Leo, who's trying to make...
So at this point, this is where I get very confused. Because Benny is talking about things that are not being said in this page. But I scroll ahead a few pages and I see the Huntress doing things. So there are some points where one of the writers, whoever wrote this video, will take liberties and cut a lot out, and that happens a lot in the No Man's Land videos I've found so far. Sometimes it's hard to directly follow along.
Gotham. But as much as Chris refuses to fall under the protection of any one gang, there's one person trying her best to look out for them, the Huntress.
So when he says the Huntress, I'm going to skip to the page for now until proven otherwise.
There's also a third group who stay in the areas, and there's a splinter cell group of black masks.
So White Knight said you could use an image of the Huntress for that part or something. I try with complete stories as hard as I can to never use images outside of the comic that's being talked about. because it just like Benny very rarely takes like a meta tone when he's talking, when he's narrating the story. I don't want to take the viewer out of the story. So showing like a different art style or just some random image from a different comic is gonna take you out of it's gonna ruin your immersion into what's going on. So that's why I don't want to do that. Because I know he's talking about something in the comic. It just, I was saying it, there was some skipping around
The
happening,
Huntress.
so
There's
I got
also
lost.
a third group who stay in the area.
What are the best Spider-Woman stories? Read Dennis Hopeless's Spider-Woman.
Yes.
If you don't care about Spider-Verse, then just start with issue 5, and go from there.
And there's a Splinter Cell group of Black Masks, false facers,
Also
led
New
by
Avengers.
a man named Leo, who's trying to make it out on his own. Leo leads his men into one of the old precincts, telling them that there's a stash of ammo here that they could use. But as his men get inside, they state that this place is already cleaned out. Everything was a man masks, false facers, led by... And there's a Splinter Cell group of Black Masks, false facers, led by... There's one person trying her best.
This is very confusing. I'm gonna scroll ahead a bit. I think I know what's happening. I believe I'm following, but it's just difficult.
And there's a Splinter Cell group of Black Masks, false facers, led by a man named Leo, who's trying to make it out on his own. Leo leads his men into one of the old precincts, telling them that there's a stash of ammo here that they could use. But as his men get inside, they state that this place is already cleaned out. Everything was taken down to the ballpoint pens. Everything was taken down to the out. Everything was taken down. Everything was taken down to the ballpoint pens.
Yeah, we try. A huge thing about the complete stories is, you know, we don't want people to use these videos as an alternative to buying comics. So we try our best to, the point of it, and Benny says this at the start of every video, the point of it is to get you caught up and or pique your interest so that you watch one of these videos, you say, hey, that story was really interesting. Maybe you go buy the rest of it, or buy a different Batman comic, or just you read No Man's Land and you're like, hey, I wonder what's going on in the current Batman comics, so you go buy that and read that. That's why we don't do like stories the day they come out or anything. That's very rare. I think the most recent thing we did of that, of releasing like a complete story very close after it came out, was Doomsday Clock. Or sorry, not Doomsday Clock, The Button. Yeah. So we don't want them to take away from the actual experience. And also something that I feel like a lot of people miss is they're written for like they're condensed and written for a reason. Reading the actual comics is a very different experience than watching a complete story on it. So even if you enjoyed the complete story, I highly recommend reading the actual book, because you will get a lot more nuance. You will get things that were just directly cut out. So yeah, thanks for the 2, what is that, euros? Hodgehag, thank you. Thoughts on Aquaman? I think the character is stupid. I have not seen the movie. I like Aquaman the character. I think he's fine. I've not read an Aquaman comic, but everything I've read with him in it is pretty good.
Everything was taken down to the ballpoint pens. Leah laughs, walking into the morgue, telling them that this is it. Welcome to Ammo Central.
Okay, so
Everything was taken down.
okay, so
Leah
now
laughs, walking into the morgue, telling them that this is it. Welcome to Ammo Central.
that is a direct quote from right there. So now I 100% know where the hell I am.
Ballpoint pens. Leah laughs, walking into the morgue, telling them that this is it. Welcome
Yeah, I've heard very good things about New 52
to
Aquaman.
Ammo Central. He pulls out one of the decomposing bodies. He pulls out one of the decomposing bodies, pulling out the bullets used to kill them. Pulling out the bullets used to kill out the bullets.
Having some goofs here, Benny.
Pulling out the bullets used to kill them, stating that
this is for Comic Storian. It's this hoe. It's the part 3 of this series right here. God, we released 3 videos since that. Jesus. We release a lot of videos, guys.
Stating that they just killed them, stating that they bodies, pulling out the bullets used to kill them.
Here's my favorite thing about when he messes up on a word with a lot of sibilants. So here how he says stating starts with an S.
Stating
sibilants, which is the sound that the letter S makes, is so easy to combine.
To kill them, stating that.
Okay, maybe not in that case, but usually it is.
Used to kill them, stating that they just have to reforge these and score some gunpowder. However, as Leo digs through one of the bodies, Mikey says that he's not so sure about this. This ain't right. As Mikey stumbles out of the room, he
oh, excuse me. I really want to sit crisscross in my chair like I normally do, but my leg's all fucked up, so I can't.
About this. This ain't right. As Mikey stumbles out of the room, he falls through a glass door before a pair of boots. He gets up asking, "Who?" As Mikey...
So here's an example of, like...
Not so sure about that. However, as...
If I decided to show the actual page where...
However, as Leo digs through one of the...
So this line right here, from here to... That section is an entire page. So there's no reason to show another entire page if it's only going to be on screen for that small amount of time. So you just extend the last one, and especially if there's no direct action being mentioned, like right here he says...
As Mikey stumbles out of the room, he falls through a glass door.
If you didn't see Mikey falling through a glass door, you might get a little confused. So that's why action scenes are a lot harder to, you know, not show pages for. And you see a lot more pages during action scenes because it's a lot more like, then Batman punches and then does a backflip and kicks, and usually that stuff is happening on multiple pages.
As Mikey stumbles out of the room, he falls through a...
Thanks, Mr. Maximum Austin. I'm gonna not listen to the Bastion soundtrack, actually, because I like it, but there's a lot going on in that. We're gonna listen to... How about this Skyward Sword compilation? Sure, why not? That's gonna get flagged, for sure.
Glass door before a pair of boots. He gets up asking, "Who?" And just as who? And just as if he's answering, Batman punches him in the face.
So normally I wouldn't want to show a page for that long, but a direct action is mentioned here, and a direct action
punches
is mentioned
him in the
here,
face.
so...
Batman slams his head into the face. Batman slams his head into the ground asking, "Why are you here?" And Mikey tells him because they're grave robbing for bullets. He didn't want to, but things are just so bad out there. There's got to be some way to set things right. There's got to be hope for someone like him, right? Right?
Ew.
Right?
What the fuck is that, Benny? You get I get to listen to a lot of gross sounds that come out of Benny's throat. But I have to cut them because they're gross and no one wants to hear them. Sorry, Benny.
Right? So Batman brings him to the one place that would accept a Batman brings him to the one place that would accept a Black Mask outcast. A Black Mask outcast. Father Chris.
I keep breathing on the mic. I'm sorry. I'll keep it further away. There was a point in the Spider-Geddon video, I don't know if anybody noticed, but I lost the pop filter for my other NT5. I have 2 Rode NT5s. So I just have one pop filter that fits on it right now. I mean, I have other pop filters, but they would look goofy on it. So there's a point where I don't know if you can hear it right now, but I have the pop filter on, but I like move my hand and send a gust of wind towards the mic. So without it, hear that? That's just me waving my hand in front of the mic. But because there was no pop filter on it, it picked that up in like full, and just the point where you just hear woof.
Black Mask Outcast. Accept a Black Mask Outcast. Father Chris. Huntress makes her rounds for the night and sees Mikey sitting. Huntress makes her rounds for the night and sees Mikey sitting off to the side and asks. Huntress makes her rounds for the night and sees Mikey sitting off.
Black Mask Outcast, yeah, it's pretty good. It's a good sentence.
Off to the side and asks herself.
I would do that, Flashpool, but like, it's not funny. It's just gross. It's not like the sounds aren't funny because there's no he doesn't react to them at all. It's just like sounds that he makes, clearing his throat and sneezing.
And asks herself, isn't that
the one that I reacted to earlier? That was a new one. I hadn't heard that one before.
The side and asks herself, isn't that? But Batman appears behind her. Yes, he's former Black Masker. Mikey, a former Black Masker. Yes. Yes, Mikey, a former Black Masker. Mikey is to not be touched. Not yet.
I don't know if this is how it's written, but I'm never given the script, so sometimes I take liberties, but
yes, a former Black Masker.
That's what an editor does.
Mikey is to not be touched. Not yet. Huntress goes in to check how things are, and just as she begins to speak with Father Chris, she notices one other person that has been accepted.
We skipped ahead like 4 pages here, so I'm finding my place. 149. Is that this? Yeah. Hello, Bill. I'm just gonna call you Bill. Is that okay? I don't know how to pronounce the rest of that. I could take a shot at it, but
Huntress goes in to check how things are, and just as she begins to speak with Father Chris, she notices one other person that has been accepted. Scarecrow. Without another word, she has been accepted. Scarecrow. Without another crow.
I'm just gonna use this page. Not that one, this one. Just for
Without another word, she runs over, knocking Scarecrow to the ground, shouting that she doesn't know what he's up to, but she will not allow this. Father Chris hurries over to break the fight, stating that she must control herself. He understands that this man once did bad things. Huntress yelled,
No, Kevin, you're not allowed to fucking curse in my chat. Don't even fucking think about it.
Huntress yells, he killed people. Things. Bad things. Huntress yells, he killed people. And Father Chris says that this is a place of sanctuary. Gotham is no longer black and
sanctuary,
white, if indeed it ever was. Huntress then says that monster
Heroes in Crisis,
everything that they're doing here. She confesses that her own morality has at times been questionable, but she knows the difference between the good guys and the bad guys.
So they're on a different page right now, but there was no direct action changing the pages, so I'm not changing the pages.
As Scarecrow picks himself up, he asks, "Are you really sure about that?" However, Huntress isn't about that.
But usually if there are like 2-page changes, I won't show that. So like,
however, Huntress isn't wrong. There are things that Scarecrow is planning, but what remains unseen. After collecting a dozen of rabies-infected rats, remains unseen.
So this is the end of an issue right here, and usually the ends on an issue end, I will change the music, but I don't know if this is a big enough. Hold on, let me fix this.
There are things that Scarecrow is planning, but what remains unseen. After collecting a dozen of okay,
that's what I was. Just don't want this stream to make me make mistakes. Probably gonna watch this later, make sure I didn't fuck it up. Penis.
However, sure about that. However, Huntress isn't wrong.
See, because the thing here is, the last thing that Scarecrow says to as the stinger is, "Are you sure about that?" But the language Benny uses of "however" is too transitional. It's like it doesn't mark the end of the issue in like because it's technically the end of the issue, but it doesn't feel like it in the VO. So I'm not gonna make this the end of the song. It's very quiet because it's very quiet for me, which means it's incredibly quiet for you. It's Skyward Sword music. I don't have the software to let you guys hear it at a different volume than me, so Bendis' New Avengers is great. Big recommend.
However, Huntress isn't wrong. There are things that Scarecrow is planning, but what remains unseen. After collecting a dozen of rabies-infected rats, Scarecrow releases
weird noise
rats.
there.
Scarecrow releases them into the food. Scarecrow releases them into the church's food. Rats. Scarecrow releases them into the church's food storage. When Father Chris finds them, Scarecrow says that it's just terrible.
This is the wrong page. Yeah. There's a cat attacking my chair. Fuck off. You're gonna make another podcast? I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do in the future. I have no plans for another podcast right now, no. Currently my brain is focused on, in terms of video production, right now I'm focused on the comic catch-up challenge. I haven't really had the urge for a podcast in a while. Technically, Insert Character isn't canceled, and technically, the Comic Panel podcast isn't canceled, but they're both on indefinite
Father
hiatus.
Chris finds them. Scarecrow says that it's just terrible. Who could have done this? This sort of crisis would surely this sort of crisis
Heroes in
would surely
crisis?
lead to the worst kind of human ugliness out there. All these people are depending on you, but
Here's a good example of when I would cut a panel. So, this entire page is just Scarecrow and Father Chris talking. It just in different ways. So, I could just cut this part out and get the entire point of the page across without showing the whole page. So that's what this layer is down here for. The video 2 layer, I put images that need to be cropped on there. Video 3 is images that, or pages that are just full pages that are going to pan, and then video 4 is double page spreads, of which there are none. There's actually one in the 4th issue, but we'll see if we're going to use it.
on this sort of crisis would surely lead to the worst kind of human ugliness out there. All these people are depending on you, but there is somewhere that you could go to get more supplies. No, a man in your position.
Oh yeah, Bill, I know how. I mean, there's software that like yeah, hardware way I know how to do that, but there's also software that I could just make a digital audio device and just play music to that and then tell OBS to give you guys that, so I wouldn't hear it, but you guys would basically. But so I could play my own music and you guys could be listening to also your own music.
Your position must always put morality before even survival. Father Chris asks him, what does he mean? Does he know of a place where they can get food to survive Gotham being separated with no supply, separated with no supplies coming into the city? They're running low. Later that night, Penguin looks out the window watching the
Penguin. Oh, Penguin. Skipping ahead a couple pages to this one.
Later that night, Penguin looks out the window watching the GCPD mark their territory. And he says that he understands he has territory. territory, and he says that he understands that territory, and he says that he understands that they need food. Well, he provides a safe place for his arsenal. Rifles, guns, gunpowder, etc.
Why is Penguin
This
white?
really is the greatest
really
supply of
white.
weaponry that Gotham has to offer. He has two advantages to make him the perfect concealer. In addition to having a unused fallout shelter underneath the cathedral, used fallout shelter.
So that's this right here is a page change, but again, no reason to change the page.
In addition to having
I'm not
a
gonna do it.
unused fallout shelter underneath the cathedral.
Sitting in a shopping mall food court, drinking Pepsi and watching you edit. That sounds like the fucking life. Also, why are you in a shopping mall at 10 a.m. on a Monday? What are you doing there?
Batman trusts him and would never think to search the territory. Father Chris prays.
Yeah, penguins are white, but Penguin isn't. He's just like white flesh color, but not like white.
Shelter underneath the cathedral. Batman trusts him and would never think to search the territory. Father Chris prays out loud, trying to find the strength to walk away, but Penguin tells him that he understands his predicament. Territory.
So I am going to switch to this page now, but I'm only going to show Father Chris praying.
Father Chris prays out loud, trying to find the strength to walk away, but
Artistic
Penguin
liberty.
tells him that he understands
Sure.
his predicament, and he will make it easier for him. The church does not have a choice in this. Either he takes the weapons willingly, hiding them in the base willingly, hiding them in the basement away from Batman's prying eyes, or he will simply shoot him and hide them there anyway. Consider the food and medicine a gift of charity. Meanwhile, in another part of town,
Meanwhile,
Leo brings his men to a building, stating that another part of town. Charity. Meanwhile,
I think that's a good place to end the song. The first song.
and
Penguin threatening Father Chris. Because I wanted to end it soon after the issue actually ended. Because I like to have the songs paced out accordingly. I don't want a song to go on for too long. So usually I would make a marker, but since markers will stay in the same time code regardless of what you add, since there's no intro right here, if I put a marker down right here, the timing would change. So I'm just turning this one blue so I know at the end of this page, right here, that's where the song should end.
meanwhile, in another part of town, Leo
Oh, apparently Benny did upload the No Man's Land intro, but I guess he didn't upload it. I'm Opie. It is you I'm looking for. Benny's all discombobulated, apparently.
Meanwhile, in another part of town, Leo brings his men to a building said to have housed all of Penguin's serpents.
More siblings. Siblings makes Dylan a happy boy. So apparently... Oh, is Benny also streaming? Just talking to each other while we're both streaming. Apparently he did upload the intro. And I'm just a fucking idiot. Is it in intros? Does he think I'm talking about the audio? Because I have the audio. He says, literally titled Batman No Man's Land 3. Yes, I see that. but there is no intro titled that. Orym is not my real name. Long story short, when I was a youngin', I was trying to come up with an internet alias, and I had just watched the Pokemon movie Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, and really liked the concept of aura. So I just started applying letters to the end of aura, and I settled on Orym.
Is meant to a building said to have housed all of Penguin's surplus goods. But as the men begin to search the dilapidated buildings, one of the men gets punched through a...
This is a good image. Just fucking sudden fist. I like that.
Building said to have housed all of Penguin's surplus goods. But as the men begin to search the dilapidated buildings, one of the men gets punched through a wall. Leo asks what the hell was that, and the man says that this place must be haunted. The exit slams shut, and Batman tells them, not haunted. Be haunted. The exit slam...
My real name is Dylan. For anyone uninitiated.
The exit slams shut, and Batman tells them, not haunted. Infested. All the men begin to run towards the exit, trying to pry the door open, but just then an arrow shoots up from underneath the ground and is pulled back down. The second the floor gives way, everyone crashes.
Okay, Benny was talking about the audio. That's what I thought happened. Don't tell me to slip frames in.
All the men begin to run towards the
I
exit,
won't
trying
do
to pry
it!
the door open, but just then an arrow shoots up from underneath the door open, but just then an...
So here's like a fight scene. And the fight scenes, or action scenes, I gotta show a lot of pages.
The arrow shoots up from underneath the ground and is pulled back down. The second the floor gives way, everyone crashes into the basement, with Batgirl stating, yeah, this place is infested by bats. But just as she finishes explosion...
Sweet line. Benny also sent me some music. Do you have a Switch? And if you do, friend code? I do have a Switch. You're not gonna have my friend code. But I only have like one friend on the Switch. I don't really play online games with anyone anymore. Not as like a choice. It's just I just like single player games. I made a video about it during No Break November. Go watch it. What did I... Oh, I hit Control A.
Explosions go off.
It was mean. It was mean to not want somebody I don't know on my Switch friend code list. I apologize for nothing.
Off, and Batgirl throws a batarang out of the window to allow the Facers to escape. Once the last of them pushes out, Batgirl fires her grappling hoop into the ceiling, where Batman can...
You say hoop?
Once the last of them pushes out, Batgirl fires her grappling hoop...
Grappling hoop. Hey, maybe it is a grappling hoop. I don't know. I didn't read the story.
Once the last of them pushes out, Batgirl fires her grappling hoop into the ceiling, where Batman can grab it and pull her up. Batgirl sighs, stating that she's sorry that she let them go. But at least they didn't get any of Penguin's ammo. Grab it and pull her up.
And now they talk for a bit. Can I cut this one?
Batgirl sighs, stating that
Weird
she's sorry that she let them go. But at least they didn't get any go.
Bit too long of a
Go.
pause.
But at least they didn't get any of Penguin's ammo. Batman tells her that
Weird noise there.
ammo. Batman tells her that there wasn't any ammo for them to get. It was arson, and no one would be insane enough to burn
Sounds
supplies.
just like Batgirl.
Back-
Yeah, I love Benny's just doesn't attempt female voices, which like fair, but he knows his range.
Batgirl then asks, what about the false facer at the Ark Refugee Center? She heard that he brought him there. Is the center. She heard.
I don't think I have 50,000 likes on anything on my channel. How many, Yeah, no. This would be the video with a lot of likes. Relatively speaking. It's my most popular video on this channel.
Batgirl then asks, what about the false facer at the Ark Refugee Center? She heard that he brought him there. Is that safe? Batman tells her, so long safe?
Oh yeah, Saturday was the 10-year anniversary of Chowmaster, for those who know what that is. I wanted to do something, but I didn't. And also, a little bit ago, a couple weeks ago, sometime in December, I think December 28th, was my 11-year YouTube anniversary. I also didn't do anything then. I was gonna make a video about it, but I didn't.
Safe? Batman tells her, so long as my former friends stay away from him, yes, I'd like to think so. But at this time, Scarecrow is convincing Mikey to do the exact opposite. He tells Mikey that Father Chris has received those weapons. They're going to need protection. Protection from, say, your old Splinter Group. Mikey then asks, why would Father Chris ask him? Why would Father Chris and asks? Mikey then asks.
Not a different page? Yeah.
Father Chris has received those weapons. He tells Mikey, I'd like to think so.
Because he's talking to Scarecrow's talking to Father Chris there, but so I gotta go to this page, I guess?
But at this time, Scarecrow is protection from, say, your old Splinter Group. Mikey then asks, why would Father Chris ask him? Why would Father Chris not ask him himself? As Scarecrow tells him, because the father is a proud man. It's just.
I'm trying to find these quotes. Okay, I think I know. Yeah, I'm on the right track.
Ask him, why would Father Chris ask him? Why would.
I will never play Fortnite. Mark my words.
Mikey then asks, why would Father Chris not ask him himself? As Scarecrow tells him, because the father is a proud man. It's just, he didn't want the protection of the GCPD. It would make people here too nervous that things might be run like a police state. Father Chris never intended us to be defenseless. He was just too nervous to ask. As Mikey grabs the supplies and he runs over to Leo's hideout, he tells him that he's got that gunpowder that they were looking. As Mikey grabs the supplies and he runs over to Leo's hideout, he tells him that he's got that gunpowder that they were looking for. That's not all. The rest
Oops.
is him.
So here,
That they were looking for.
that little, where he doesn't finish the word for, that's an artifact of the way that a process called delete silence that I do in Audition.
Who could have done this?
To cut down on it basically pre-cuts the audio for me.
Can get
Saves like 30 minutes usually.
rifles, guns.
But sometimes it cuts too much and that's why I saved the original file.
Hard to be worthy. Maybe harder than he knows, but right now she's going to need him to trust her to watch over this place.
I went too far.
Is something wrong? He didn't want the protection of the GCPD. It would. As Mikey grabs the supplies and he runs over to Leo's. He's got that gunpowder that they were looking for. Tim.
Alright. Just slot in the original.
Tells him that he's got. He tells him that he's got that gunpowder that they were looking for. That's not all. The refugee center wants to hire them as protectors. Wait, is something wrong? Leo reaches down into the crate, pulling out a gun, pulls back the hammer, and he fires. The Huntress hears the gunshot echo throughout the street, fires.
This part kind of seems all over the place.
And he fires. Huntress hears the gunshot echo.
Are you still playing the game with the big wiggle dragon? What? Oh, Ashen? No, I finished it.
Huntress hears the gunshot echo throughout the streets and rushes to where the sound came from. It's there that she finds Mikey on the ground holding his stomach, begging for help. Huntress hears the gunshot echo throughout the streets and rushes to where the sound came from. It's there that she finds Mikey on the ground holding his stomach, begging from.
Another €2 from Hodgehog. Please use this to buy a sandwich in my honor. Absolutely. You got it, Chief. Thank you for the money.
It's there that she finds Mikey on the ground holding his stomach, begging for help, next to a note that says traitor. While Huntress tries to make sense of all of this, Scarecrow watches from the shadows. Huntress.
Okay, so I was gonna cut just this panel out, but he says the Scarecrow thing, so.
For help is from the shadows. Huntress rushes.
And that's the end of the second issue, so we're halfway done.
Huntress rushes back to Batman, who's been sitting there full.
So that's a good enough thing for the second song to end. It's gonna be a slightly shorter one because it's like a 2 or 3 minute song as opposed to a 5-minute song. But sometimes you just got some short ass songs. Bye, Hodgehog.
Huntress rushes back to Batman, who's been sitting there with his arm. Batman, who's been sitting back to Batman, who's been back to Batman, who's been sitting.
Always cut on siblings.
Rushes back to Batman, who's been sitting there with his arms folded,
Beautiful.
telling him that Mikey's been shot.
Mikey.
Batman says that there's somewhere that she can take him, but Huntress stops him, yelling, "She can't leave now." What does he want to hear? That she can't do this without his help? That she's not strong enough, fast.
So this whole page, these 2 pages, this page and this page can be all summarized up with this one panel. So, and I don't want this to come across as like a criticism of this book. It's just for a complete story. That's what I'm looking for.
Who's been sitting there with his arms folded.
If characters are just talking for like 3 pages, I'm gonna use maybe 1.
Folded, telling him that Mikey's been shot. Batman says that there's
Depending on
somewhere
how
that she
long
can take him. But
it
Huntress
stays up
stops
there.
him, yelling, "She can't leave now." What does he want to hear? That she can't do this without his help? That she's not strong enough, fast enough? She's tired of begging. She isn't here to ask for a scrap. She's asking him to save someone. She has come a long way for him, and she has saved someone.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons I'm like confused on what's happening in this book right now is like I don't understand the Huntress and Batman dynamic at this point in history. I just don't know anything about that.
Asking him to save someone. She has come a long way for him, and she has worked hard to be worthy. Maybe harder than he knows, but right now she's going to need him to trust her to watch over this place. Batman takes Huntress's hand. Batman over this place.
So depending on how long he's gonna talk,
Batman
here,
takes
I
Huntress's
might
hand off his
change
cape,
the
telling
panel.
her, "Bring him back out." While Batman takes Mikey to Leslie Thompson.
Yeah, so there's no reason to change the panel. It's like up there for what, 5 seconds? Shut up, Bunda.
While Batman takes Mikey to Leslie Tompkins' makeshift hospital, back at the church, Scarecrow tells everyone that Mikey is dead. Surely you all know when you're. Scarecrow says, back at the church.
Almost forgot to cut that mistake. Up.
Back at the church, Scarecrow tells everyone that Mikey is dead. Surely you all know in your hearts by now. What makes you think that your lives won't end the same way? But while he goes around spreading concern, Huntress tells Father Chris that it is naive to let him stay.
Daddy
Father Chris
Chris.
tells her that she's naive to think that he'd turn away someone in need of help. Besides, without his fear-inducing chemicals, Scarecrow is just a man. He's no more dangerous than anyone else in this town. Huntress says that she prays that he will never learn how wrong he is about that. And over in the hospital, Leslie comes out of that.
Next page. Batman.
And over in the hospital, Leslie comes out of the operating room with Batman asking, "How is he?" She pulls off her gloves, stating, "How is he?"
Why does Batman care so much about this random
How is he?
guy?
She pulls off her gloves, stating critical, but he at least has a chance now. And critical. but he is at least stating critical. But he at least has a chance now. And how have you been? I haven't seen you since, well, the fall of Gotham. Batman doesn't directly respond, but he says that he needs to get back out there. He needs to find out who shot Mikey. Leslie pulls Batman's mask off. Bruce. And Batman says, why did you stay? She sits down, stating that she asked his father 30 years ago the same question. Why did you stay? She sits down, stating that she asked his father 30 years ago the same question. Thomas just looked at her with those sad, serious eyes and said, there's still work to be done. Dr. Wayne had no intentions of packing up his bags and leaving. She loved his father, and a part of her stayed with him. But what about him? What made you stay, Bruce? Batman pauses for a moment, and as he leaves, he says, part of me stayed, just for you. Later at the Penguin's chambers, Penguin.
Pew, pew. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Later at the Penguin's chambers, Penguin sips his tea, stating, kill him. Batman says the boy almost
Kill
died
him.
tonight.
Do it.
Because the Batman says the kill him.
You didn't say anything for a minute, and I forgot I wasn't watching a complete story. I was like, what is going on?
Batman.
I'm sorry. Stretching! Fuck! Alright. Ugh. Getting situated. I really want to sit crisscross in this chair, but it will hurt my leg to no end.
Batman tells him, the boy almost died tonight because of the guns you put on the street. Before he passed out, he said that there were more elsewhere. Where are they, Penguin? What are you going to do? Arrest me? If that's what you think, you're mistaken. As Penguin...
I would be talking while I'm editing this audio, but that's when I goof up and leave bad takes in.
Men get ready to attack. Batman sprays his spray can. Batman sprays his attack. Batman's ready to attack. To attack. Batman sprays his spray paint can to blind the guards before knocking them out. He then reaches into his belt, pulling out a small device, and he sets it up, pulling out a knocking them out.
Especially since the process I do these days, a lot of the time after I do this process, I kind of don't check the audio until the edit's locked. Like once I'm done laying all the panels down, I'll throw a podcast on and just do everything else by visual, because I don't really need to listen to the audio anymore.
He then reaches into his belt, pulling out a small device, and he sets it up.
So that just means I have to be extra careful on this step.
Stating this miniature electromagnetic, knocking them out. He then reaches into his belt, pulling out a small device, and he sets it up, stating this miniature electromagnetic pulse will destroy all of the generators that you've been hoarding permanently. He sets the timer for 15 seconds with Penguin shouting, there are no guns! Batman starts to count. 6, 5, 4. Penguin shouts, curse you! They're inside the refugee center. Batman grits his teeth. You psychopath! And he jumps out the window, leaving the device behind.
I'm hungry.
Penguin rushes over asking, how do I turn this? But as he looks at it, he realizes the device is just a clock. He smashes it, yelling to his guards that he wants those guns back. Back at the church, Scarecrow comes.
Classic Batman move. You remember when Batman Batman and all of his kitchen timers in his utility belt? Oh, classic Batman. Having a bunch of kitchen timers in his utility belt. Welcome back, Mopey.
Back at the church, Scarecrow comes up with a plan, but for it to work, Scarecrow comes up with a plan and
make more videos about microphones and cameras and editing. Dude, you're speaking my fucking language right now. I would love to.
But for it to
got any ideas? Let me check my list right now. I have an ongoing list on my phone of, used to be on Trello, but now it's on my phone, of video ideas. I don't know if I have any gear. No, I don't have any more gear ideas right now. I have plenty of non-comic related ideas, but I don't think I'm going to be making anything aside from comic reviews for the next few weeks as I do the comic catch-up challenge, which I have the next one written, so I'm keeping to that. I got to read my 5 books today, and then tomorrow is a filming day. So there will either be a new video tomorrow or Wednesday. It depends on how quickly I edit, or how quickly I film, really, because the editing doesn't take that long.
Back at the church, Scarecrow comes up with a plan, but for it to work, he's going to need to pull a few strings, and the first step...
Edit one of these streams of you editing and break down your process. Oh, I see what you mean. Maybe. I, a long time ago filmed... I didn't film it. I took one of my streams and made a time lapse just to see how it would look. I just streamed, like, the entire process of a complete story from start to finish. Of my part, anyway. It was for an Ultimate Spider-Man. This was years ago. What ISO do you have the GH5 at in your setup? Currently, it's at 400 for the... It's, here, I can... I'm gonna, real quick, just... Yeah, that's what I thought. I was gonna switch to the webcam, but it's not working right now. So I'm gonna fix that. And then... Hold on, because I guess I can show real quick for a little bit of procrastination. Taking my headphones off. I know I'm off mic right now, but why is this not working, this webcam? Hello, webcam? Where are you plugged in, honey? Plugged into a hub. Oh, it's a fucking rat's nest back here. Oh! That unplugged something. Pietro, get out of my chair. I sit there. You don't sit there. Ho! I just farted. It smelled really bad. I don't use Vlog. I don't have the Vlog upgrade. Because it costs $100. And I'm not about that life. Okay, why is my webcam not working? Well, my webcam's not working, so I cannot show the setup I'm using. But, why isn't it working? What the fuck? And, video capture device. No, shit's not working. Oh well, sorry. What codec do you think all-eye compression is smoother for editing? What picture profile do you use? What autofocus mode? All that, as much as you're willing to tell me. I use natural for the profile. I don't use autofocus because it sucks on the GH5. I don't know about the codec shit. I just switched from 10-bit LPCM to 8-bit normal MP4 just because the processor that I have, I can't natively play 10-bit footage back in Windows. Premiere will play it, but Windows won't just because my processor is old. So I just, and also the file sizes are bigger, so I just figured until I get a better processor, I'm just gonna do the 10-bit stuff. And also, it's YouTube. I don't need to be filming at fucking 10-bit. There's no point.
And the first step of that is leaving a letter to the Huntress. Later inside of the Gotham Museum. Back at the church, Scarecrow comes up with a plan, but for it to work, he's going to need to pull a few strings, and the first step of that is leaving a letter to the Huntress.
Cool.
Later inside of the Gotham Museum, Leo and his crew scavenge through the building looking for supplies when Scarecrow...
But yeah, right now my GH5 it's set to 4K 24 to 8-bit, using the normal MP4 container, and I think that's ISO 400, f/1750. It's like 58.1 is the shutter speed I'm at. I think I have Synchroscan on because I have a bunch of different weird lights in my home.
Scarecrow appears before them. He tells them that if they want more guns, the people of the church aren't going to stop you if you tried taking them. But back over at the church, a small child brings Huntress the letter. She reads it.
A small child. Here you go. Here's the letter.
But back over at the church, a small child brings Huntress the letter. She reads it, shouting,
Sneeze
"What the
time."
hell is going on here?" She heads down into the fallout shelter, and when she returns, she dumps the box of guns that Penguin gave to Father Chris. A short while later, Scarecrow returns, asking, "Well, what do we have here?"
There's like a B plot going on with Commissioner Gordon, but we are skipping over it, apparently.
A short while later, Scarecrow returns, asking, "Well, what do we have here?" Father Chris yells, "I had no choice. You must believe me." But just then, Huntress tells everyone to get down. They have trouble. Outside, Leo and his men have positioned.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like more gear videos to do, but I don't know. I mean, I could just review things, but that I have. I could talk about the light that I use for a lot of shit. It's a really good Amazon light. Not by Amazon, but I got it on Amazon. I don't want to look it up right now. It's a good light.
Outside.
I used it. It was my key light for all of No Break November, and usually I use it for fill, but for like, you know, ease of use for No Break November, since I was moving the setup so often, I was just using that one light.
Outside, Leo and his men have positioned themselves, and Leo calls out that all they want are the rest of the weapons. But just then, Huntress tells everyone to get down. They have trouble. Outside, Leo and his men position themselves. Then Huntress tells everyone to get down. They have trouble. But just then,
I guess he wanted a more passion.
"You must believe me." But just then, Huntress tells everyone to get down. They have trouble. Down. They had no. Tells everyone to get down. They had no.
Good morning, classified cinema.
Get down. They have trouble.
I'm gonna use the
Down.
first
They have
take
trouble.
because he fucks up the second one.
And they have trouble. Outside, Leo and his men position themselves, and Leo calls out that all they want is the rest of the weapons. Let them inside and weapons. Let them inside and no one will get hurt. Huntress yells back that they have no intentions of giving them anything. If they set one foot inside of her, she swears that they won't come out alive. Father Chris runs out shouting, "Wait! Don't provoke them." And Huntress spins back, telling him, you don't get to call the telling him,
I apologize if this is about to set off any of your Google Home devices, but I can't be fucked muting my mic. Hey Google, turn off the AC. That was a very cute cat behind me right now.
You got it. Turning off 10 lights.
That is not what I asked, Google. Hey Google, turn on the lights. You fucking goof. Just gonna do it
Okay.
Hey Google, set home to off. I apologize once again if any of you
turning
have.
off the set light.
That is also not what I asked. Are you high right now? Hey Google, set home to off.
Okay, turning the set light off.
Fuck off! She's broken. For your main mic, NTG3 if I remember right. It's the NT5. But close enough. To use an XLR converter into the GH5 or an external recorder. Sorry if you mentioned this in the Blue Yeti video. I sort of did. I glossed over it. Usually I use an external recorder. And that's what I prefer because you just get cleaner signals out of external recorders. I use the Tascam DR60D Mark II for most things. But if I'm not using, like currently for the Comic Catch-Up Challenge, I wish I could show you the fucking setup when my webcam's not working. I am using I'm using a Ceramonic Smart Rig Plus, which is it's a XLR to 3.5 millimeter preamp. I also used it on Behind the Upload. I don't use it for that many things, but I'm using it here just so I don't have to sync audio since I'm gonna be, since I don't want. It just makes it easier. For more serious videos, I would use the external recorder, though. That's why in the start of my Spider-Geddon review on my lower third, it says on my lower third, it says apologizes for the audio. The reason for that was because I set the gain too high, so I'm peaking the mic a lot. And the Smart Rig, just the preamp on it is not as good as the DR60D Mark II. So it's just not as clean of a signal. But I didn't want to do a two-system bitch, so I didn't.
You don't get to call the shots anymore, spins back telling him, you don't get to call the shots anymore, father. Just then as she says that, Scarecrow yells, oh God, they'll kill us all if we don't, father. Just then as she says that, Scarecrow yells, oh God, they'll kill us all if we don't do it. They'll kill us all if he yells, oh God.
At least you're editing a video of someone else's voice, because hearing your own voice is annoying after a few hours. Yeah. It's more like, for me, I get incredibly frustrated when editing my own stuff if the audio isn't exactly how I want it. Which happened when I was editing the Spider-Geddon video the other day, because the audio fucked up a little bit, and it made me really annoyed, because audio is very important to me, and it's the thing that I mess up more frequently because I don't know as much about audio as video. Like, I hardly ever, like, have out-of-focus footage or do the wrong shit with my camera settings. That's rare, but I'll mess up audio a lot more frequently just because I don't, it's not what I know as much about. I'm not an audio boy. No, you're not. I love talking about gear and tech. Feel free. And this video is not like, if I had to turn this video around like as quickly as possible, I wouldn't be streaming, so you're not distracting me or anything either. I mean, you are distracting me, but not in a negative way. That's what I'm trying to say.
We do. Oh wait, we have the same weapons as the. Oh wait, we have.
Just as long as you're improving, that's all that matters. Yeah, I agree. It's just live and learn. Like, there's nothing I could have done. I tested the gain on, like, to make sure it wasn't peaking, but I guess the audio levels on the camera, like the little levels on the viewfinder, just weren't as accurate as I would have liked them to be. So I ran a few tests and turned it down, and it's at a good enough point now. It's still not going to be as clean of a signal that I would get out of the Tascam or out of any field recorder, but it makes my life easier. Why don't you film Infinity or HLG? I thought a reason for you to buy the GH5s was for dynamic range. Even in a natural profile, you're still getting way more dynamic range than you know, like the G7 or any other camera that I have. Really, the only reason I'm not filming in a flat profile is because it's not necessary. Well, for two reasons. One, it's not necessary for the work that I'm doing. I don't need dynamic range because you want dynamic range when you're filming something cinematic so that you have a lot more room to play with grading, with color grading, and use that to benefit your story. But I'm not telling a story in most of my YouTube videos. I'm just fucking around. Like, I'm just gonna color grade it to make it look pretty and natural. So why not use the natural profile? And even, like, I've tried color grading the natural profile to make it a little better, and it's just not worth it, because Lumetri will slow down your edit, especially on 4K video, and especially with my computer, and it causes a lot of problems on export. So if I don't need it, I don't do it. And also, Vlog is $100 to upgrade, too, so that's another reason. And a reason that I'm coming to terms with lately is that looking at flat footage just... I hate the look of flat footage, and it makes me that much less motivated to edit something, because I like getting things out of the camera as close to how I want them to look. Like, for example, here's some footage from an unreleased video, and it's unreleased because I haven't edited it yet. I'm not going to say what it is, just because there's no reason to. This was filmed on my G7, and I filmed it in Cine D. Cinelike D. or it was one of them. It was either Cinelike D or Cinelike V. And yeah, I got a lot of dynamic range here, and I'm gonna color grade it. But looking at this, just in my own head, I'm like, this looks awful. And I know it's not gonna look awful when I finish color grading it. But right now, to me, it looks terrible, and that makes me very unmotivated, because I'm like, oh man, this looks like shit, even though it doesn't. As opposed, like, you see that, and then just, like, footage, where the hell is it? Footage straight out of the camera. Actually, I can't play the raw, because, again, 10-bit, but, like, this is straight out of the camera with no color grading. Same set, different shot, but, you know, it's just looks way better. Just right out of the camera. Obviously, I'm going to color grade it to look like that, but it's like a motivation thing. Also, it's just better to get things straight out of the camera if you can, because you're just, it's just less work on the back end.
We have the same weapons as the bad men outside. Find the courage to use them. We must defend ourselves. Huntress tries the...
To me, that doesn't even look like Cine D. It looks graded to me, slightly too contrasty even. That's probably just because the G7's, you're probably thinking of Vlog, which the G7 cannot do. That is Cine D. It's just like, like the G7, not the GH5. You were looking at G7 footage, the ones that I was showing that wasn't graded. Because the G7 only has the two Cinelike profiles. It does not have Vlog, and it can't have Vlog. The GH5 can. I just don't like the flat look. I know why it's helpful for, but I don't use it because I know why it's not helpful. There was a time where, like, on my T3i, I was filming everything in the, like, fake Vlog that you could download. CineStyle, that's what it was called. I was filming everything in that, and there was no fucking reason to, because A, I was just color grading it to match exactly what the, like, standard profile looked like out of the camera anyway, and it didn't look any different. And B, that camera has the dynamic range of a potato, so you can only fake it so much.
Huntress tries to calm the...
Do you ever edit a video when you haven't read the comic yet? Yeah, almost always. It's a lot more rare that I edit a video that I have read the comic for. In terms of complete stories, my videos, I always read the shit that I do, but, like, I've never read No Man's Land. I didn't know it existed until I started editing these videos.
Huntress tries to calm the unruly crowd, but Father Chris takes down the barricade, stating that he started this.
Well, I didn't edit Cine D, so that's probably why you thought it looked more contrasty. I just used Cine D.
Barricade, stating that he started. Huntress tries.
And again, the GH5 has way more dynamic range than the G7, so GH5's Cine D is going to be way flatter than the G7's.
Tries to calm the defend ourselves. Huntress tries to calm the unruly crowd, but Father Chris takes down the barricade, stating that he started this, and he will be the one to end. Stating that he started this, and he will be the one to end this. As Father Chris walks outside, the refugees grab whatever guns he started this, and he will be the one to end this. As Father Chris walks outside, the refugees grab whatever guns they can, and they point it out the window.
Yeah, I've seen Bandersnatch. Very, very good. Played it twice. Love it.
While the Scarecrow sits back smiling. A gun goes off, and as Father Chris checks himself, he notices that he's not bleeding. Everyone starts...
Kill him. Do it.
Smiling. A gun goes off, and as Father Chris checks himself, he notices...
Yeah. This is the end of the 3rd issue.
A gun goes off, and as Father Chris checks himself, he notices...
Christopher. No, this one.
Notices that he's not bleeding.
Yeah, so I'm skipping over this is the one, double page spread in the entire video, but I don't need to use it, so I'm not going to. Plus, I generally try to avoid meta text like this, the credits and stuff. just because it pulls you out of the story. So that's not part of the story. That's just the title of the story and people who made it. You see the people who made it at the start. You don't need to see that. After.
Everyone starts to look around, and one of Leo's men groans as he slides down the side of a car that they were positioned on. Just then the sound of more guns being fired can be heard, and Leo and his men are gunned down. Around the corner, a group of well-dressed men step out. Stating, "We represent the Penguin, and he wants his guns back." Huntress tries to get everyone back inside.
I like the idea of, I want to see the order that Penguin gives to his men to wear suits. Very specific suits.
But one of Penguin's men then grabs Father Chris, stating that they don't have to do what they say. If you don't do what we say, if they don't do it, stating, if they don't do it, stating, if you don't do what we say, the priest is dead. Scarecrow tells everyone, "No, you must fight back."
Is the GH5 your ideal camera? If not, what other camera would you want, and does it exist yet? Why did you pick GH5 over Sony A7S? I'm asking this as a GH5 owner, just wanting to know your reasons. I picked the GH5 over the... Well, I'll answer the A7S thing first. I picked the GH5 over the A7S for 2 reasons. One, I believe the A7S is more expensive. Or if it's not, I think it's like $200 more? I don't remember. The bigger reason is just because I already have Panasonic lenses, and I didn't want... Like, I already made the jump from Canon to Panasonic, so I didn't want to make the jump again from Panasonic to Sony, and then have 3 separate systems. Because at this point, I can still get a speed booster and use my Canon lenses if I want to. But if I adopted a third mount, then I would have to get another speed booster if I ever wanted to adapt those other lenses. As far as like the nitty gritty, like comparing them, I didn't even really consider the A7S because of I was already on Panasonic. And I mean, I just went with the GH5. It's not my ideal camera. Honestly, my ideal camera is probably a Canon, but it would be one of the Canons that are like super expensive. And the only reason I say that is because like if I could have my ideal camera is the GH5 with Canon's autofocus. That's what I want. And probably full frame as well. If I could get a full frame GH5 with Canon's dual pixel autofocus, that's my ideal camera. That's what I want. And in the same form factor, maybe a little bigger if you need it. Like if that's necessary. But yeah, that would be my ideal. Just because that's my one complaint with the GH5 is that its autofocus sucks donkey dick. But everything else I love. If you could have anyone do the voice recording for one of your videos. Yeah, I know about their full frame mirrorless, but it's also probably going to be like $3,000 or $4,000, so I'm good with the GH5 for a long time. I don't know, that's a good question, Classified Cinema. I don't have an answer to that currently.
Scarecrow tells everyone, "No, you must fight back. Don't just sit there, attack." Once everyone gets inside, the refugees state that they need to do something. And Scarecrow tells them, "Look, just give me 5 minutes. If I can't save Father Chris and defuse the situation, do whatever you have to survive." As Penguin's men wait for an answer, and Scarecrow tells them to do something. "Look, just give me..."
So Benny meant to say Huntress tells them. I'm going to cut that. And people will be able to piece it together because Huntress is on screen.
Something. "Look, just give me 5 minutes. If I can't save Father Chris and defuse the situation, do whatever you have to survive." As Penguin's men...
So Canon 1DX Mark II, does that have internal 10-bit? And does it have a recording limit? I'm sure it doesn't, but I don't know much about... I don't know, like, every camera, you know? What Panasonic lenses do you have? I only have the kit and that, the 2517. Or no, is it? It's a 20. It's not a 25. It's a 2017. It's an older lens. Those are the only two I have. I want to get. I mean, my wish list is fucking huge. With I'm gonna pull this up on a different screen just to make sure that it's not gonna show anything goofy. It should be fine. Just to be super safe, I'm gonna pull it up in Edge. I'm not logged in Edge. So this is my film gear wish list. So this is all the shit that I want. Some of it is like pipe dream, like this fucking mic. Some of it is more practical. Like this I don't have like just a really simple on camera mic. I want the VP83. It's very good. This is just a little light that I've wanted for a while that would be good for Phil. In terms of lenses, I want this lens. This is the lens that I want. This lens purely because it's a lot bigger than the one that I have. It's essentially the same lens that I have. It's just it's a slightly smaller focal length, or tighter focal length, but the focus ring on it is a lot bigger, so it would be way better for video, like running gun shit. Here's another just tiny on-camera mic that I wouldn't be opposed to having. A lot of this is just shit that, like, I wouldn't be mad if I had this. I'll probably not gonna buy it for a while. It's just I do want to buy this soon, or some kind of rig. I want to get a rig because it would, or a cage because it would help a lot, especially with some ideas that I want to do. I just need to buy this because the GH5 uses different batteries than the G7, so I need a dummy battery for it. It's a cheap ND filter. There's the Vlog upgrade. These are some lenses that like would be nice, but they're very expensive. Some more mics that I just like mics. The wireless mic system. This is what I want to upgrade my podcasting microphones to. In the intermediate, this is what I would go to after the ATR 2100. I want to upgrade to the Procasters, and then after that, I want to go to the RE20s. Not that I have any use for that. I just like, this is my ideal mic right here for voiceover, is the EV RE20. Unless we're talking like this. I mean, obviously this, but the RE20 is very good. Like, this is my ideal mic right here, just because you can use it for fucking anything. Some sound foam, a follow focus. This shit's been on here for a while. The further we get down, the longer this shit has been on here. When would you ever use a 50mm 1.1 manual focus? Oh, was that? Yeah, that's up here somewhere, right? Where the fuck is it? Yeah, this hoe. I just want it because it's funny. You could use this for macro shit. You could use it for it's just a photography lens for like really shallow depth of field. Like, you want bokeh, we got bokeh in this lens. That's just an art lens that I would be interested in fucking around with, and it's not super expensive. So again, like, a lot of the stuff on this wish list and most of my wish lists are not practical. They're just like, I would not be opposed to having that in my kit. Here's a cage for the G7. This is just a cam link that has shot the fuck up in price for some reason. Jesus. This was a mixer to replace the mixer in my living room. I don't remember why. I wanted to try this out. I still kind of want to. The palette gear. This is a 4K webcam. Some studio monitors. Stream Deck would have been nice. An upgrade to my arm. I probably wouldn't get this Rode one because there are ones that mimic it for a lot cheaper, but it's just on my wish list. Do you do camera work outside of your channel? No, not often. Sometimes friends will ask. There's a lav mic on here. There's one right here and one right here. I already have one also, so. And the reason, like, lavs are never my ideal mic just because I don't like clipping lavs to people. Or myself. It's just they're more restricting than other mics. They might get a cleaner signal, but sometimes depends. This is just a, you know, little monitor. I don't know why I wanted that. Just 'cause I think this is double-sided tape for something. It's just some little clamps. This I need to remove from my wish list because I don't use the microphone that, well, it broke. The microphone that I was gonna buy this for broke. I don't really need this anymore because I made my own reflector from Walmart. I just bought a thing at Walmart. This is cool. This is just a little thing on wheels that you could put a camera on. I would probably never buy that nowadays because I have a slider. But this is like theoretically an infinite slider, and paired with the GH5, probably wouldn't look that bad, because that hoe has some good stabilization. Oh yeah, and also I think this is the one thing I did, just a 50-foot HDMI cable. But yeah, I very rarely do freelance camera work. I would love to, but I would feel more comfortable doing that if I built up a rig first. Because I have equipment for one. I just can't make it comfortable right now. Or like, very sturdy. But getting a cage would solve both of those problems.
Minutes. If I can't save Father Chris and defuse the situation, do whatever you have to survive. As Penguin's men wait for an answer, the one holding Father Chris has a needle thrown into his hand. As Penguin's men wait for an answer, the one holding Father Chris has a needle thrown into his handle. Needle thrown into his hand.
Should you read Spider-Man from Big Time to Superior, or can I just jump into Superior? I just jumped into Superior, so do that. All you need to know is just read, if you really want to know like why Superior is happening, either watch a video, the first episode of The Show with Issues, if you want to watch that, explains that situation, or you can just read Amazing Spider-Man 700 and then jump into Superior. But also, I'm pretty sure Superior recaps it, so just read Superior. Unless you're talking about the current Superior Spider-Man, which also you can probably just jump into. But if you're talking about the original Superior Spider-Man, yes, just jump into that. Why would you need a 50-foot HDMI cable? The longest one I've seen is like 16 feet. 50 feet is actually the maximum that an HDMI cable can, or an HDMI signal can reliably travel. The reason I want one is because the one consistent freelance camera gig that I do is I help put on a Hamilton like sing-along karaoke event, and I film it and edit it and everything, and occasionally we do it inside of like a movie theater, and broadcast we put a live feed on the theater screen, and I wanted to get a 50-foot HDMI cable just in case anyone ever doesn't have one. So far that hasn't been an issue, but it would just be nice to have, you know. But yeah. That is why.
As Penguin's men wait for an answer, the one holding Father...
And I do that for free. So that's why I didn't think about it when I was talking about gigs earlier.
Needle thrown into his handle.
Oops.
A needle thrown into his handle. Before he has a chance to shoot, Huntress jumps down and starts to take out the others. However, also watching from afar is Jim Gordon and the rest of the GC. Huntress jumps down and starts to take out the others. However, also watching from afar is Jim Gordon and the rest of the GCPD. The man that was holding Father Chris grabs him again, stating that they don't think that if they don't think that he'll kill. The man that was holding Father Chris grabs him again, stating that him again, stating that grabs him again, stating that if they don't think that he'll kill the priest, they got another thing coming. But then there's another shot, and the Scarecrow yells, "That's it! That's it!" Huntress yells. Father Chris grabs him again, stating that if they don't think that he'll kill the priest, they CPD.
There.
The man that was holding.
Did you get your T3I because of Simon Cade from DSLR Guide? No? I don't know who that is. I recognize DSLR Guide, but not, I guess that's that guy's name. I got my T3I because I don't remember a specific person, but back when I was looking for a starter camera, that was the one that everyone was suggesting. I am gonna go to the bathroom real quick because I gotta take a poopy, so I'm gonna go do that. I will be right back. I'll leave you guys with some music to listen to. Wait, hold on, I lied. You guys don't get any music. Hold on, I gotta fix this be right back screen. I can't fix it, so just, I will, hold on, I'll return. Give me, 1 second. I'm back. No, I don't want to save that. There's no reason to. Okay. Oh, fuck.
The man that was holding Father Chris grabs him again, stating that if they don't think that he'll kill the priest, they got another thing coming. But then there's another shot, and the Scarecrow yells, "That's it! That's it!" Huntress yells for them to start firing, but the Huntress yells for them, "That's it!" Huntress yells for them to start firing, but the shooting didn't come from the church. Back at the car, Leo starts to back at the car. Leo starts to back at the car. Leo starts to unload it. God damn it, scared me. Leo starts to unload. Leo.
Benny got spooked. What are you yelling about, Gerbil?
Car. Leo starts to unload his clip, asking if they want to shoot him in the back. You can turn the lights on. Asking if they want to shoot him. Unload his clip. Asking if they want to shoot him in the back. Everyone starts to.
What? Where is this? Oh, it's the same page.
Scatter for cover, but as Leo begins to unload, a shadow looms over him, and he says, "Oh hell!" Asking if they want to shoot him in the back. Everyone starts to scatter for cover, but as Leo begins to unload.
Oh, you're doing a Benny impression. Sorry, the things when I edit these videos, more often than not, the things that I'm listening to go in one ear and come out the other.
A shadow looms over him.
It's also just sort of a general rule with things I say in my life.
Scatter for cover. A shadow looms over him, and he says, "Oh hell!" Everyone starts to scatter for cover. A shadow looms over him, and he says, "Cover." But scatter for cover. But as Leo begins.
That's what I hear.
But as Leo begins to unload, a shadow looms over him, and he says, "Oh hell!" After a few moments of silence, Leo steps out of the shadows, stating, "Look, how about this? My 3 guns for the priest." After a few moments.
I generally pay attention to things people are saying to me, unless I'm just having one of those days where I'm just, like, very not there. But usually when I'm not there, I don't hang out with people. So I try to pay attention to the things people say. It's never like, if I don't hear what you say, it's never malicious. It's just like, I'm an aloof person.
After a few moments of silence, Leo steps out of the shadows, stating, "Look, how about the shadows?"
My memory is very strange. Sometimes it's terrible, sometimes it's great.
Stating, "Look, how about this? My 3 guns for the priest." One of Penguin's men then asks if this guy is for real. Why would they trade when they can just shoot him? Another then says, "Allow me to answer that." And he leans over, shooting Leo. When they all turn back, they see Father Chris is not there. And Huntress helps Father Chris back into the church, with Scarecrow yelling, "It's a sign! We have our shepherd back! Now is the time to strike!" Just then there's a creak and everyone turns back, asking who's there. Leo yells, "Whoa, whoa, 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 settle down, I'm not armed. He said there was shelter here." Huntress says. Huntress stops him. "Wait, there's shelter here."
We're almost done.
Huntress says. Huntress stops him.
Well, done with this part. Then we gotta do all the other things.
Huntress stops him. "Wait, if he's here, then who's out there?" Penguin's men head down to Leo's body, and they pull back his shirt to see the bat symbol. Batman springs up, taking the men out, and Jim gives the order for the men to move in. As Jim looks over the ledge, he sees Batman knocking out the last of Penguin's.
Look at this dude! Hi, Drake. No.
The men stating, "You can take this message back to the Penguin. Tell him that this block is off limits, permanently." He throws a smoke bomb covering the entire area, and Petite asks, should they go
Who? Oh,
after
right,
it?
that guy.
Jim tells him no. For better or for worse, the refugees have someone watching over them, and though he doesn't fully trust their savior anymore, he can trust the integrity of their leader. Back inside of the church, Leo says that it was a leader.
Did I do that right? Yeah. Overdramatic is like the mission statement of the complete story.
Back inside of the church, Leo says that it was all Scarecrow's fault. He was the one who told him and his men to show up. Scarecrow tries to deny it, stating that this is the man that killed
It's like a radio drama.
Mikey. But the refugees grab Scarecrow and they bring him down.
But with
Father
visuals.
Papa Leo, the hell, and they bring him down. Father Papa Leo. The hell? Who's Papa Leo? That's got to be a Seanism. The father takes a deep. Huh? Yeah. What is the father's name? Father Chris. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Papa Leo. We've never heard of him. The father tells
little bit of Benny being confused. I think yeah, it is a different father that's talking, but see that Benny's good at this of like when he's confused about a part, he gets vague enough to where it still makes sense, but like people can't contradict him about it.
They bring him down. The father tells Huntress that they need to stop the mob. They're going to kill him. And Huntress says that there's nothing that she could do either. And they bring him down. The father tells Huntress that they need to stop the mob. They're going to kill him. And Huntress says that there's nothing that she could do even if she wanted. Revenge is human nature. Father says that it's also human nature to bend the force of a superior will. Please.
I had an idea a while ago, Drake knows about this, where I wanted to parody a bunch of comic book YouTuber channels, since I've edited for half of them. And that idea, I had a resurgence of that idea yesterday, where like I would do a complete story, a parody of one, I'd do a parody of one of Drake's videos. I might still do that eventually, but probably not anytime soon.
Of a superior will. Please, he knows that she can help. I believe in you. Huntress takes a deep breath, stepping between everyone shouting, and she says, enough! This is what he wants. You can kill him. If you kill him, wants. You can kill him. You'll what he wants. If you kill him, wants. If you kill him, you'll make him a martyr.
What is your style? Well, that's what I would figure out if I did that parody video. There are some quirks that I could call out immediately, but that's the other thing is I wouldn't know if I would want to make it like a complete parody, like and just goof the whole time, or if I would just want to actually try to make as closely as possible that video, like where it's technically a parody but not for comedy's sake, just I don't know, Drake, like the if you want to get like really specific, the way that you talk in your videos is very you do the thing at the end of, a lot of people do this when reading scripts, where it's like here, I'll just read like this line right here. You would say it like but Mikey's recovering now. We're safe, and Father Chris is safely here with us. You do that like the up and down at the end of a sentence. I mean, I would use your set, Drake. I would just come over and film it. But that's one thing. I would obviously start it with hello and welcome to Comic Drake, where I talk about comics and my name is Drake. I would do that. The whole 9.
If you kill him, you'll make him a martyr. Mikey isn't dead, but he's recovering. There's a great power in fear. It can be used to fuel hatred and viciousness. Yes, but it can also...
It's not a criticism. It's just how you speak. Everybody has a video voice. I have a video voice. I'm trying to not have a video voice, but... And I have mostly accomplished that by not scripting anymore, but... People, when they read things, it's such a different... I mean, that's why voice actors are good at their jobs. Because they can make you believe that they're not reading a script.
And viciousness, yes, but it can also remind you of how much you're loved. Look at the Scarecrow. You're loved. Look at much you're loved. Look at the Scarecrow.
If you do Rob, do the thing Scott did and lower your voice using software. Oh yeah, I forgot Scott did that. I probably wouldn't do Rob. I don't know. I haven't edited his content, so I mean, I could easily mimic it. There's not but that's the thing about Rob is like it's easier to mimic a scripted content than because I know his videos are loosely scripted, but because that's more of like it's a lot harder to imitate personality than it is style in terms of like I could look at Drake's scripts and see the way that he talks and then write a script based on that and study his inflection. But with Rob, it would be a lot more difficult. Know what I mean? Edit the Rob, be the Rob.
Vicious.
I don't think Rob does research, but also that's not the point of his videos. So you say that like an insult, but that is not the point of his videos.
Yes, but it can also remind you of how much
his videos are like comic book vlogs, but with just comic visuals. Assuming he hasn't changed his format in the past like year. The last videos I watched of his were his button videos. I enjoyed them.
You're loved. Look at the Scarecrow. He's a small man who's afraid. Let us thank him for reminding us how much we still have to lose.
YouTube.com/comicdrake is here.
All the refugees begin to thank Scarecrow, and they tell him that he will be forgiven in the eyes of God. Once things settle down, Father Chris tells everyone that he will do the thing that he should have done in the Father Chris tells everyone that he will do the thing that he should have done in the
I'm gonna have to do some science here.
Everyone that he will do the Chris tells everyone that he will do the thing that he should have done in the first place. They throw the weapons into the
Sal is very knowledgeable, yes. Oh, also, since Drake is here, if you try and if you say that anyone has more knowledge than Drake, he will bite you. Oh no, I agree that Comic Pop is the best. I've gone on record stating that Comic Pop is the only comic book channel I consistently watch. So, I love those boys.
Once things settle down, Father Chris tells everyone that he will do the thing that he should have done in the first place. They throw the weapons into the ocean so that the weapons may never kill anyone. Meanwhile, once things settle down, Father Chris tells everyone that he will do the thing that he should have done in the first place. They throw the weapons into the ocean so that the weapons may never kill anyone. Meanwhile, kill anyone. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Batgirl asks so she can take this thing off.
Drake told me the other day that he does read the Discord. I think Gerbil, I think Drake is more active in that Discord than I am. Scott uses the G7, yeah. Unless he's changed since I was working with him. But I don't think he has. Comic Pop is better than Comics Explained, which is better than Comic Historian, which is better than me, which is better than Comic Drake. Damn. I like that everybody has comic in their name there except for me. I'm just me.
She says that she will take that as consent. As she takes off the...
Drake, no! What the fuck, Drake? Drake, that's an abuse of your power. You do that shit one more time. Watch what I do. He deleted Flashpool's message in which he was ranked worst.
She says that she will take that as consent. As she takes off the blindfold, she looks around and asks, where are they? The cave? Wait, this is a basement. This isn't your main headquarters, is it? Batman tells her, no, it's a cave. And Batgirl asks, cave. And Batgirl
It's a cave.
it's a cave.
Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps. I know it was for the joke, but still, it's an abuse of power.
And Batgirl asks, what? What? You got more than one? What? Girl asks, what? Batgirl asks, what? You got more than one? Batman tells her, these days, you have to be flexible. The basement that they're standing in is the basement of the still standing Arkham Asylum.
Sweet, we did it. Hooray! Ugh. I mean, I'm not a comic channel. I'm a variety channel. Orum's corner. It's my corner. Even though we're just going to be talking about comics for the next few weeks. But just shut up. Leave me alone. Now it's time for animation. First, we got to extend the background. So, fun little tip. All these images are the same size. So, we're going to find the longest one, which is this one. Hit that shit to 75, because I have done this a million times, so I know the scale. And then we're going to go up to the top. Place a keyframe there. Go down a little. See if that speed's good.
Another word
That's a bit slow. So we're going to make it down more.
that she doesn't know.
That's still a bit slow.
Father Chris hurries over
That's
to break the fight, stating that she must
that's fine.
control her.
Why is this on half? I need to be on half when I'm editing 1080. So now we're going to copy and paste to this layer. This is why I separate the layers, because it makes it easier for this stage. We're also going to do it on that first one, because that first one is the previously. And the previously is full screen. Why is Premiere, like, eating dicks right now? I have not seen Bird Box. Also, didn't Bird Box come out this year, or was it, like, tail end of last year? Why don't you try anime manga again? I can recommend some good stuff. I just don't have time, Chief. Like, I just... It's a, like... It's hard because of how much shit I have to get through of things that I actually like. It's going to be a while before I get to recommendations for things that I don't know about. So not don't know about. That doesn't make any sense. For things that I would... It's like if you go to a restaurant full of cheeseburgers, and cheeseburgers are your favorite meal, and also they have a hot dog there, but there's like 12 different cheeseburger options, you're gonna try all the cheeseburgers before you eat the hot dog. Does that make sense? Did I consider the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K? No. That host sucks. I don't like that camera. I think it's for the price, fine, but it's too specific of a tool. Because doesn't it, like, it doesn't have autofocus or something, and there's no flippy screen, which sucks. Anyway. I don't not like manga. I just don't like RWBY. I still have all the manga that I showed in that Chowmaster video. I'm just looking at them right now. They're sitting on the shelf with my RWBY comic or manga. They're up there. It's just I read those because I like Pokemon and I like Zelda. The most out there manga that I think I showed in that video was like Sergeant Frog, and I have no fucking idea what happened to that. I don't know where it went. It's somewhere. I don't think it's probably lost. Probably got lost in one of my many moves. Very specific Chowmaster references happening right now. Why is my computer operating at dick speed? Also, I did that wrong. I hit the wrong thing. I have to nest this first. So see what I mean about streaming? Yeah, I watched a little bit of the Sergeant Frog anime. I don't know why I also bought the manga. I had some Bakuman manga as well. You know, honestly, I probably did have Bakugan manga also. But fuck if I know. I can make the music a little louder now since we're not editing audio anymore. Why did you even bother to upgrade from the T3i? What? What do you mean? The T3i compared to the G7 fucking sucks. The G7 has 4K for one. It's way sharper. In fact, all phones have 1080p. Why not use that and save a lot of money? I can't tell if this is bait at this point. I feel like you know the answers to these questions. Phones have awful, like, they do not have like any shallow depth of field. Except for the fake ones in like portrait modes and shit. Here, before we do that, I'm gonna oh, I don't want to do that yet, actually. We need to do these bits. Found a pile of Naruto volumes in my brother's old cupboard that he hid because he's embarrassed by it, and it's incredible. That's great. I like that. Okay, I thought it was bait. See, I can't tell now because you go on this troll account and ask me genuine questions, and then you get bored and start trying to bait me. Why does this image have to be tilted slightly? Whose decision was this? I would like to fire them. I'm fucking hungry, dude. I haven't eaten today. I should have eaten a banana before I started streaming. Don't talk for 2 hours straight on an empty stomach. Awful idea. Just horrendous idea. I remember when I found out you read anime backwards and being confused.
Mikey, Leslie Pol.
I thought it was so cool when I figured that out. I was like, yo, fucking anime slaps, or manga. It's like, what the hell? This shit's dope. Eat those extra corn dogs. I don't have any corn dogs in my fridge right now. I have the pancake and sausage ones, the breakfast ones. Why not film in JPEG? That just doesn't make any sense. Try harder. JPEG is not a video container. You gotta make your bait make sense.
Far watch.
So now we go through and show the correct parts of the pages. Most of the time they're already fine, but like for here, I think I need to go down. Yeah, because this is talking about him falling through. So we gotta move that down. This is fine. This is fine. I'm gonna move it down actually, just because you can see Huntress at the top, and then Batman comes in. When 6-year-old me read Death Note for the first time, he was extremely confused by how to read it. Poor 6-year-old you. That's fine. Why not film anime AMVs? Some might say I've made one. I say that as a joke most of the time. I call my Rise and Fall of Captain America video, I call that a Captain America AMV. Just because I don't know. I'm like slightly self-conscious about that video. I think it's good, it's just... it's very extra. I'm also... I have a real problem making, or not, I don't know if problem's the right word, but I don't make a lot of, like, serious content. If that makes any sense. Like, I just goof a lot. And I want to make more serious, more narrative things, because I don't think I'm funny enough to make, like, narrative comedy. Because I'm not a comedian. But, like, I'm gonna have to get over that, like, confidence issue if I want to make more narrative stuff, because I don't want it to seem like I'm smelling my own farts on one hand, and on the other hand, I don't want it to be bad. Very difficult hurdle to hula hoop around. Tell that to Pokemon Green Leaf Green Let's Play episode 6. Yeah, it's the most dramatic thing I've ever made. Incredibly deep. Really shows the inner workings of my psyche. Show that punch. Boosh. Hey, it's me, Batman. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Batman. Hey, everybody, just so you know, it's me, Batman. Oops. Look, a little oopsie. We love a funny oopsie. Why do you waste money on lights and prime lenses when the GH5 has an adjustable ISO? That's a good bait. Oh. This is the same person. This is the same guy. Like, I'm not racist, but this is the same guy. No, Batman didn't do an oopsie. I did an oopsie. It's on me. Don't blame Batman. Blatman? Batman's done I can't talk! Batman has done plenty of oopsies, but this was not one of them. I guess Premiere's lagging because I'm streaming, but, like, usually it's not this bad. Trouble? Morph? This stream's gonna get flagged. Nintendo is gonna fucking flag it. I'm gonna get flagged, I'm gonna get flagged. I'm gonna get flagged. What am I doing? I'm gonna get flagged. I am gonna get flagged. I'll shut up now. Bumpa. I don't really want to fuck around with the profile on the camera on the GH5 just because I think it looks fine as is. And I've color graded it to look better, but every time I do it, it's just like, it looks fine already. So I could try doing that, the Cinevi thing, but I don't know. I could do some tests. I might run some tests, but I'm comfortable with how it currently looks for my use case. Play the Yoshi Island theme? Sure. Just play the whole soundtrack. This is adorable. Bingo bongo. I think this is just the top. Yeah. This is some baby shit. What's going on here? There we go. Premiere fucking sucks. My whole career is hinged on this software. I should learn hit film or something else like Avid. Anybody here edit on Avid? Any other editors here? Alright. What's everyone edit on? What kind of NLE? What kind of... You edit on film? People still do that? People still shoot on film? That's a loaded question, Mopey. Yeah, the soundtrack is very nice. I edit on Microsoft Paint. R.I.P.
His handle before he has a chance to.
Yeah, just double checking. I thought I had to go down for that, but Photoshop, Movie Maker, Avid is garbage. I edit on paper with a pencil. Is Avid garbage? I've never tried it, but I know it's another industry standard. It's like it's basically the other industry standard. Yeah, I remember now. I want to learn HitFilm for sure because HitFilm's free, or it has a free version, and I have recommended that to a lot of people, so I've always disclaimed that I've never used it, but I mean, I'm sure any free NLE would be good enough to do, like, just make cuts. Like, I could probably edit a complete story in any NLE.
Far is
Just might not be as easy. Might not be as user-friendly. Avid is literal cancer, and it being the industry standard is a disgrace. You use Vegas? You use Vegas, and you're talking about Avid being cancer? Ooh. Bit of a there. I haven't used Vegas in like 6 years. Probably more like 5, but fuck Vegas. It's just, Vegas is so ill-equipped for anything, like, slightly complicated. Like, it doesn't make the way that Vegas does animation is so stupid. Because it wasn't made for that. Vegas was it's an audio program that they added video capability to. And everybody was using it because it was easy to torrent. But you didn't hear it from me.
Chris grabs them again, stating that if they don't think that he'll kill the priest, they got another thing coming.
Hi, Alyssa. Welcome back from work, I guess.
For shooting Leo. When they all turn back, they see Father.
Yeah, I thought this was a short stream too, because the reason I said it was going to be short was because I thought a friend was coming over, but I guess he doesn't want to now, because he didn't text me. So He was in here earlier. I don't know if he still is. Probably not. I don't think he cares that much.
Father Chris is not there, and Huntress helps.
I use GIF Maker and Movie Maker. Wow, 2 makers. We love a maker. Look at these pants on Batman. Green bat pants. Yep, it's all good. This stare at nothing. I figured that was gonna happen. Arkham Asylum. Just gonna show the. I mean, he says that it's Arkham Asylum, so I don't need to show that. I need to prove it to the audience. Like, look, it is Arkham Asylum. There's a sign. What's up, Ragger Harry? I'm supposed to edit a movie for film school, but I'm tired, so I went on YouTube. Hey, no shame in taking a break. We were just talking about what everybody edits on. What do you use, Ragger Harry? My production value uses Vegas 16, which I think the last Vegas I used was maybe 12 or maybe 11 actually. So I'm sure it's better now, but it can only get so good. It's fucking Vegas. I'm sorry. I don't mean to dunk on Vegas this hard. Oh, we're done, by the way. That's it. Oh, no, we're not. What am I, fucking stupid? We gotta white out the pages now. Oh, also, I need to do the... See, this is what happens when I stream. I get really scatterbrained, and I'm like, yeah, it's done. I mean, this video won't be done until probably tomorrow, because I need the, intro and outro, and that hasn't been filmed yet. You don't need an intern? Are you offering? I can't afford an employee, nor do I really need one. I don't know what I would use an intern for. I'll just laugh at them all day. Hey, what the fuck, Mopey? What would be so bad about being my intern, huh? Is that right? Ignore these. Those aren't correct. I'm gonna fix them in a second. I'm just checking
Welcome.
the credit in lost episode. Okay, I do have the volume 1 there. I wasn't sure if I wrote volume 1 or not. If anyone's curious, the volumes that we're going by are not the ones from like the early 2000s or the 90s. We're going by the 2011 re-release. I need to find a place that'll accept me for work experience, and the app development company near me is owned by my uncle's arch nemesis, so I'm screwed. Oh, that sucks. You should change your last name. He'll never know. Alright, you all are now interviewing for the position of my intern. Go. What do all of you bring to the table? Look at how fucked these credits are. I'm just gonna find the ones from the actual book. I owe you, Mopey? What do I owe you for? Enlighten me. Let's see here. So we've got... Is it all Devin Grayson? Yeah. All 4 of these were written by Devin Grayson. For art, we have... Eaglesham, Banning, Parsons, Mendoza, and fucking writers never. The fucking editorial never credits the letterer on the I think Marvel's starting to do that, which is good, but also the colorist was not credited there. I think that's everyone? I believe that's everyone. If I missed a credit, I am sorry. Ooh, Gerbil brings sausage rolls. I don't drink beer. I don't drink at all. So that's not a good offering. The sausage rolls do sound good, though. What kind of sausage rolls are they? I am almost definitely the most qualified if you weren't a racist against Vegas. Well, I wouldn't have an intern edit for me. I tried having an editor. I had 2 editors at one point for Orms Forum, Andrew and Julie. It just was weird to me. That was back when I was being a tryhard, when I was releasing like 2 or 3 videos every week. That was a stressful time. Remember when I released 5? Does anyone here remember when I released 5 videos a week? Does anyone remember that? That was like 4 years ago. Fuck that. Alyssa brings cookies. Very strong arguments happening on all sides, I must say. I also don't like the taste of beer, so even if it is alcohol-free, I'll give you the blood of 1,000 orphans. Very tempting, very tempting. The good sausage roll. So like a really solid kolache. Like some gooey cheese and just the right amount of breading. If you make kolaches and put too much bread on them, kill yourself. Bit of an overreaction. Punda brings chow. Chow. Proud of you, Gerbil. Soft and Canelbular? I'm probably butchering those pronunciations, but... Who suggested this soundtrack? Good. Alyssa brings meat. Good meat. Just peek the fuck out of the mic. I offer you infinite sarcasm, 300 corn dogs, and smooth jazz. That is an incredible offer. Everybody is bringing their A game right now, I must say. I was gonna completely get rid of that box if it looked good, but too much work. Good meat. Everybody's bringing good meat. You know, when I asked for like your list of qualifications, I didn't really mean bribes. I sort of meant like what you would do for me. But all of you guys are just kind of trying to bribe me, which like logically that's great, but morally pretty big gray area. And also might be illegal. I guess depending on the thing you're bringing to the table. And how you go about it. Rumor has it, I am well connected. See, now you're talking. But only to people you have connections to. Well. Fair enough. Just give me a place to nap. I can clean and cook. Just give me a... Well, I have a couch. What do you cook? If you cook me some, like, healthy food, and I don't... That's... I would genuinely hire someone if they could just make me meals that were healthy, because I would eat... I can eat whatever, as long as it tastes like... as long as it's tolerable, and I don't have to make it. Because a lot of the reason why sometimes I don't eat that well, that good as well, I think I don't know, whichever one grammatically makes sense, is because I just like, you gotta make healthy meals most of the time. Fast food is so unhealthy for you, but it's so convenient. It's a fucking dilemma, you know? Can you cook him corn dogs? Can also bake and play with cute cats. Alyssa is definitely the strongest contender right now. Punda quits. I don't eat well because unhealthy food tastes so freaking good. Yeah. That's like, I enjoy the, like, it's just convenience and money for me is what comes down to food. Like, I love good taste in food, don't get me wrong. But I could definitely live if somebody just gave me the food I need to eat every day. It's just like, here, eat this. If you really have a craving, go for it. But otherwise, it's like utility. It's utility eating versus pleasure eating. If I could just utility eat most days, I would probably be far healthier. And that's sort of what I do when I buy groceries. So I just kind of make sandwiches and other easy things that are not supremely unhealthy for you. Alyssa, you're hired. If you can find your way here, please don't come to my home. I don't know you that well. If you somehow made it to Texas, I would not be opposed to hanging out with you. But don't come to my home unannounced. That goes for everyone, not just Alyssa. Let me swim. Very impressive. Swim all the way to Texas. Hey, any of you guys could have been good interns, but at the end of the day, Alyssa sold herself very well. She had a very good presentation. So, just saying. Well, you can, I'm just saying you need to, don't show up here first. We hang out, I get a feel for you. If you're terrifying, then I will fire you. But if I feel like I can trust you to cook, clean, and play with my cute cats, then I will allow you to enter my domain. Which is usually pretty clean anyway. But can't be too safe out here. I had a dream I was in my master's and there was a convention in Texas and I went to Drake and Yours podcast. Weird. I mean, every time Drake is invited to a local con and is given a panel, he invites me and we basically just do a podcast up there. So it's not a terribly far off dream. Don't scrutinize my language. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. Oops. This used to be my least favorite part of the edit, but it has become one of my favorite parts. Because usually at this point, I'm listening to a podcast and just kind of chilling out or listening to some music. I've come to like, I used to really hate editing complete stories, but I have refined it to a point where I look forward to them now. Cuz it's just busy work. It's just some easy busy work, you know? Sometimes you need that. I don't like doing them back to back because you get burnt out real quick, but I'll do that if I need to. That's why usually my days in terms of work are complete story and then some podcasty stuff, multicam edits usually. I won't be able to, actually no, I can do that today. I am going to do that today. I forgot. I still have one from, they filmed 2 comics experiments on last Thursday. I think one of them's only going to Patreon, and that's the one I'm editing today. So I'm probably not going to do that on stream though, because that literally is just me sitting there watching the whole video and changing the cameras. Alyssa will spend all your famous YouTuber money on books if you hire her. What makes you think I would give her my debit card? Bye, Gerbil. I literally am better at your own camera than you. Why am I not the intern? Just fucking got it. Chill. Did I use this page? I don't think so. If you hire me, I'll start an acapella group with you. Very tempting, very tempting. I've already hired Alyssa though. I don't know why you can't continue to campaign. Position's been filled. If anything changes, I will search for a new intern. Welcome back, P-Man. Oh! Hi, Wanda. Wanda has come to say hello. I don't know why. She's been sitting on the Orms Forum set for the past 2 hours. Oh, she is on the desk. She has jumped up on the desk. The Leica Panasonic 1260 f2.8.4. Is that a good bribe? Yeah, that's a pretty good bribe. I will give you that. What is that, like $1,000 lens? Solid bribe. But that's one thing. It's also still a bribe, not a... I don't know. This is the one song I think of whenever I think of Yoshi's Island. It's so, like... It's so ditzy. I love it. Wanda does this thing whenever she jumps on my desk where she just stares at my second monitor. No matter what's on the screen, she just stares at it. So I took a video of it once. It's fucking weird. Oh. She was doing it, but I laughed, and then now she's staring at me. Silly cat. Hi, Wanda. Can you do a stream of Wanda and Pietro just existing? Maybe. I'd turn my webcam on and show you guys cat, but the webcam's not working. I don't know why. I tried fixing it, but it's not super important right now, so I'd rather get my work done than fix that little silly problem. Dylan Magneto? Why would I be Oh. Because my cats are named Wanda and Pietro. No! Magneto is not their parent. Not their father. They don't have parents. They're experiments! They're a product of the High Evolutionaries' mad science. I think that's the latest origin. Oh, well, this looks like asshole. Just gonna have to fix this shit up. Cat Geno. Is that a cat form of Geno from Super Mario RPG? Cool. What if I offered you the same bribes, but as Mopey? You're always Mopey to me. So, changes nothing. Also, once again, I would like to reiterate that the job has been filled. The position is filled. I know, Gerbil. I know that's what you meant. Just making a goof. Just goofing around. No more goofing around. Get him. Do it. Do it. Look at this guy. He's enjoying the spray. Don't try it! You underestimate my power! Why does Anakin sound like a TIE fighter when he does that jump? Hey, no flirting in my chat. None of that shit allowed. No flirting till marriage. I didn't use this page. You underestimate my power. Why is he crying during that scene as well? I don't know. These are not fresh criticisms of fucking Revenge of the Sith. Dylan, your employee is hitting on me. No flirting! I will not stand for this sacrilege. All dances will be performed with pants on in this stream. When is Anakin not crying though? Solid point. I'll give you that. Can we flirt with you or no flirting in general? You can flirt with me. That's okay. Just don't flirt with each other. It's the same rules as like you can fuck with me, but don't fuck with each other. Good flirt, Whoopi. Did I use this page? Don't think so. Don't think so. Beep, 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 beep. Hi, Wanda. She never does this. I'm so glad. She's curled up on my desk right now. Like a little sweetheart. Hi, honey. Her big butt is on my keyboard. But it's not pressing any buttons, so it's okay. Do you want to be hit on by guys, though? Is that an interest? I mean, I'm not opposed. I'm bi, so I'm not, like, against it. In fact, I welcome it. I guess that is new information. I don't really talk about it much. I don't really talk about my love life much. Very personal. Not about personal here. You come here often? This is my stream, so no, I don't come here often. Did you know, Mopey? I don't, like I said, I don't know what I talk about on the internet or not, so I am binary. I am a robot. I only came out like last year, so I don't fucking know. I considered making a video about it, but I was like, that's not like the point of my channel. It's not a, I mean, it is very personality driven, but it's very complicated. Make a love life episode. I had a strong impression. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people do, just because of who I am in the way that I operate. But yeah, I mean, it's not obvious. No, nobody really asks. I mean, it's kind of impolite to ask. But for all like 4 or 5 of you that are here, now you know. I'm trying to, did I use this page? I don't think so. Yeah, this is the one I used. Correct. Your sexuality is no one's business. Why is Drake calling me? He knows I'm streaming. You know I'm streaming, right?
Oh, I didn't realize you were still streaming.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I thought you did.
Oh, hey, quick question.
What's up?
What would you say that fellow members of a Navy SEAL unit, what would you call them?
SEALs?
Well, because the sentence I'm writing right now is, it's not uncommon to see soldiers emblazoning their armor and equipment with Punisher skulls, an act popularized by Chris Kyle and, I don't want to say his brothers, I don't know if I would say his corpsmen, I don't know what
His fellow
term
Americans.
that would be.
His battle buddies? I don't know.
Battle buddy.
Benny says battle buddies a lot. I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe you should Google it.
Well, I've been trying to Google it. I don't really know
I
what to
figured.
search for, but I figured since you edited Benny's Agent Venom video that you might know.
He said battle buddies most of the time.
Yeah, I
That's
remember.
not a joke, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, this video is hard to write.
I can imagine. It's a very touchy subject.
Yeah, like, I'm doing more research. I want to read you a quote real quick from a soldier. Where did I put it? Frank Castle is the ultimate definition of Occam's razor for the military, he says. Don't worry about uniforms, inspections, or restrictive rules of engagement. Find the bad guys, kill the bad guys, protect the innocent. Any true warrior, that's the dream.
Holy shit.
And this is from Jesse Morita, who is he's currently a tactics consultant and works a variety of jobs in law enforcement. He says Frank Castle does to bad guys and girls what we sometimes wish we could legally do.
What the fuck?
There was a police department in Kentucky and a police department in New York that have both had Punisher Back the Blue stickers on their cars. And in New York, there was, I shit you not, in 2007, a rogue group of police officers calling themselves the Punishers.
What?
Who wore gloves and hats and used more brutal tactics that needed to have an internal investigation handled for them.
That's nuts.
This is a weird video to write. I'm frankly a little uncomfortable.
I didn't know that there was that much information about this.
Dude, there is so much.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Gotta get them clicks.
Dem clicks.
All right. I don't really want to ask Benny about this because it seems I'm not really criticizing the military, but just.
I mean, he also wasn't a SEAL, but so I don't know if they might have like a specific verbiage, but I don't know.
All right. Battle buddy.
His battle buddies.
I'm gonna double check that one. All right, have fun storming the castle. Bye.
Bye. YouTube.com/comicdrake, everybody. He's making a video about the how a lot of military personnel and police officers have co-opted the Punisher symbol for like their own agenda. He's been wanting to make it for a while, and I guess he's finally making it. He said he was going to do that or a different video. He seems like he decided. Were you guys talking about asking before kissing earlier? What did I miss? Oh, okay. Drake is here now. I've lost control of the chat. And by that I mean I don't know what's going on anymore. La 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 la. Consent! Consent is good. I agree. Byro. Who's that? Ugh. Don't ask, just do it. Don't, that's bad advice. I mean, it's a very complicated thing. I don't want to talk about consent right now. Battle buddy is a specific term. Okay. I just think battle buddy is cute. A battle buddy is a partner assigned to a soldier in the United States Army. Each battle buddy is expected to assist his or her partner both in and out of combat. That's such a wholesome name for a very real thing. My name is Byro. I'm Byro. Hello. I did not use this page. So fuck it. I'm Spyro. He's wee men. Chris Kyle and his wee men. I think that's who he's talking about. I don't remember. Drake, have you had to watch American Sniper yet? I know we were talking about that last night. Oh! I didn't know Byro was an actual, what the fuck is the word I'm looking for? Shortened version, but I didn't know Byro was an actual shortened version for Biromantic. I just thought someone was accidentally added RO to the end of By. That's Yoshi's Island. We're gonna play Yoshi's Story now. adorable. I want to kiss this boy, but I don't know if he likes the peen, so I should ask to get a clear understanding of the situation. I don't know if he likes the peen. Here's the move. If you wear a watch, get a rainbow watch band, and literally everyone on planet fucking Earth will comment on it. That has been my experience for the past month or so. I think every new person who has seen my watch band, my rainbow watch band, has been like, dude, sweet watch band! I'm like, thanks. This song used to fucking horrify me. But now, real bop hours. I'm sorry! It was funny though. I have to hear it too. I hear it just as loud as you guys do. I am monitoring the same shit you're hearing. Wanda's sitting up now. Oh God, she's like falling asleep, sitting up. Wanda, lay back down and go to sleep. I think she may have stood up because I screamed, but I can't remember. I apologize if that was the case, Wanda. I just like the look of the rainbow more than the bi flag. I mean, like, the bi flag's nice, and I like those colors. Historically, you can see that I like those colors. But I don't know. I just like rainbows. They're very pretty. I didn't even buy it for a pride thing. That was just a nice benefit. I bought it because I saw someone wearing one day, and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. And I wanted a new watch band, so mine was falling apart. So I bought that one. Did I use this one? I don't know. I don't think so, but I'm gonna white it out anyway. Maybe that doesn't change your sexuality. Just, it means that's a whole different thing. I feel. It's like, just because you're... There's one huge stigma about, like, identifying as any sexuality other than straight. They're like, well, how the fuck do you know if you haven't done it? It's like, shut up. It's this assumption that everyone's born straight and then they decide later. It's like, no, that's not. Not how'd that work, society. I'm fully aware, Drake. God, this is so beachy. I love this. Very good. No, I think... Mopey, I think Drake was saying that you guys didn't know that he kissed a guy. And didn't like it. Katy Perry parody. Katy Perry D. Don't look at me. Don't ever speak to me. this B-plot is unimportant, apparently. According to Sean, who wrote this video. I was not the guy. Drake has not kissed me. If he had, I think I would have remembered. Unless Drake roofied me? I don't really see that as possible. I would taste it in my water. I guess it wouldn't matter though, because the second I tasted it, it would hit me. Why would I kiss my brother? My brother. Hey man, some people are into that. Dude, right? Alyssa? Very soft. Do I use this page? I don't think so. Look, I don't apologize for that pun, but also I don't stand by it. It happened, we're moving on, okay? Very wholesome beings, girls. Except for the bad ones. Ugh. Which is true for everything. Were you surrounded by straight friends or homophobic friends? Why would that be awkward? Unless you made it awkward. Like, was everyone just hanging out and suddenly you started making out with a dude? Like, that's just awkward no matter what. Just like chilling, playing Smash. Suddenly you look over. Alyssa, did I imply that you were one of the bad ones? Would I have hired you as my intern? Would have hired you as my fake intern. Did I use this page? Yes, I did use this page. I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me. Self-described bad bitch. Reads books all day. Tribal Yoshi Bop. Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, fuck. Come on! This page makes me uncomfortable for some reason. Scary Bean. You can be wholesome and scary. I mean, you can be mean and wholesome. No, that's not true. That's just a direct contradiction. You can't see this bottom half of the page, but I'm doing it anyway. I'm proud of Wanda for chilling on the desk for so long. I like having a cat up here. I don't know where Pietro is. He's not in the sleeper. He's not... I don't know where the fuck... He's probably on the cat tree out in the living room, but... It's probably why Wanda is so comfortable right now. So Pietro makes her very nervous. And she is already very nervous. Why do you blank comic bubbles? Nobody asked that, Drake. Who are you parodying right now? I blank comic bubbles because I was told to. Benny's reason is copyright. I don't blank them in my videos because I have not run into that issue. And I think my use of pages is far more transformative than most, so... just don't do it. I know you get that a lot, but nobody was saying it here. So I was confused as to what prompted that. Boom, boom. What's happening to this song right now? What's going on? Boom, boom. It like lost all rhythm there for a bit. For a lee bit. Ooh, ooh, shit. Oh, fuck. Y'all hearing this? Drake, shut up. You know that's not true. Alright, here we go. This is wild. Hey, can you update Premiere? Dynamic link. Dynamic link. Dynamic link. What am I blind? Did I not do this page, or is it just okay? Yeah, it's just being stupid. Well, you should have phrased that better than Drake, because that sounded very shady. I apologize for the garbled mess that is the audio right now. I'm used to this sound, this panning sound, but I know not a lot of people are. I'm just going through to check that I got all the bubbles. Yoshi. Why don't the cats like each other? Because Pietro is a fucking asshole. That's why. He does not respect Wanda's boundaries. It's really upsetting. They tolerate each other, like, it's just Wanda does not like to, like, be jumped on. So whenever Pietro does that, she gets really hissy. And he doesn't take that as a sign of stop. He takes that as, oh yeah, and then he just bullies her. I feel very bad for Wanda, especially because, like, part of the reason I got Pietro was because I wanted Wanda to, like, come out of her shell a little bit, but it doesn't seem to have helped at all. I think it's going to be a very different story when Pietro gets older and kind of simmers down a little bit, because he's still a kitten right now. Yeah, that's exactly, Alyssa. I think it'll pass eventually, but, like, what I really wanted to happen was, Wanda was gonna, like, kick into mother mode and start just, like, mothering, Pietro. But, what page, Mopi? How early on? But that did not happen. I don't see any. I'm pretty sure I got it all. I don't think you would be trolling. Why would you put a kitten with an older cat if she is a nervous lady? I mean, it could have gone many different ways. It could have gone far better. It could have been far worse. But I did everything I could. I introduced them very slowly. I did my best. Please don't. My worst fucking... This is why I don't, like, show my cats that often. Is because I hate when people, like, backseat, like, take care of your pets. They're like, oh, what the fuck? You're not doing... What the fuck? It's like, look, listen. My cats are very happy and healthy. Leave them alone. I also have a Blue Yeti. There's nothing wrong with owning a Blue Yeti. Point of that video was not to shame people who have bought or thought about buying a Blue Yeti. It's Blue's fault, not the people who buy those microphones' fault. Thank you, Alyssa. We're done. We're actually done now. I'm gonna make the thumbnail, but we're done with the video as far as I can go. Ooh, Wanda stretches. You coming to sit with me? Hi. Very sleepy cat. Oh, where are you going? She's just kind of in front of me right now. You can't lay there, Wanda. Where you going, Chief? She's smelling the microphone. Wanda, you're directly in front of the monitor right now. I can't see anything. She has sat, like, where you see my mouse right now, that's where Wanda is. I can still kind of make the thumbnail. I can still see it. Oh, wait. I'm not doing this from scratch. I already have the layout that I made. I'm pretty damn sure I got everything, Chief. I didn't use this page. Didn't use that. I got everything on here. I didn't use that. I got everything there. Didn't use... Are you talking about this? If you're talking about this or this, I don't... I only get rid of the bubbles. Didn't use that. Didn't use that. Didn't use any of this. This? You talking about this? It's brown. Well, maybe that shows for a bit. Let's see. No, you can't see that. If you were talking about, this, I had to, Premiere didn't update right away. This is the very first image. Premiere didn't update right away, so this had all the text on it, but I fixed it. That's the very first thing. I think I got it all. Wanda, honey, I need you to move. I can't see my layers. She's looking at me like I'm crazy. I love you, but you are in the way. Come over here. Come back to... Sit back where you were before. Wanda. Over here. There, you can lay down. That's good. You can lay down. If you lay down, I can see. Thank you, Wanda. I gotta get rid of this nonsense. Good enough. I gotta be able to see it. Just... Oh! Fucking doing this shit last time where I was trying to click on the part 3, but it kept clicking on that instead. Yeah. I don't like removing people's credits, but Sometimes it must be done. Cool, there's our thumbnail. Alright. We're done. Yeah, there's literally nothing else I can do. With this video anyway. I'll set up the next video I'm gonna edit, but could you send cat treats? I don't have a P.O. box, so no. I can't justify that because I don't think the rent for a P.O. box versus how many people would actually send me things, I don't know if it would be worth it. But I appreciate the sentiment. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I'll set up the next video I'm gonna edit. But I'm not gonna edit it on stream because Mopey, you would send me like a bomb or something. I don't actually think that. Does Benny have one? I don't know. That's a good question. Probably not, because I don't ever see him opening things. Drake might have a P.O. box? Drake, if you're still here, do you have a P.O. box? Wiggle monsters. What the hell is that? What is a wiggle monster? That sounds upsetting. Hi, Pietro. Pietro has joined the stream. He's on my stomach. Hi, buddy. Both cats. This hoe purrs. I don't think Drake is still here. Oh, from Ashen. I don't think there's any Ashen merch. I don't know if Scott still has one. Can you hear him purr? Hi, Pietro. It's okay, Wanda. There's so many cats on me right now. What do you guys want? I think their water fountain is low right now. So they might be thirsty. I will tend to that in a second. Either that or they're just cold. Or they just like me. Webcam not working. I'm sorry. Oh shit, what the fuck's going on now? This soundtrack is wild. I'll try one more time to see if the webcam's working. Nah, it ain't working. I'm sorry, guys. Pietro, you are sitting on my headphone cable and it is dragging my head down. You need to stop. There. Cable's over you now. Lay down. Lay down, buddy. This is like the DK rap, but Yoshi's story. Oh, Wanda. This is so nice. I love my kitties. He's looking at the screen, right? And he's following the mouse with his head. Wanda's just staring at him. It's okay, girly. It's okay. Why is this taking so long? Jesus. Love streaming. Soundtrack is nuts. Hi, little kitty cat. Oh. Goofy ass cat. Oh, Pietro. A real one. I need to trim his nails. I've never had to trim Wanda's because they're not long and she doesn't really use them. But Pietro is pretty liberal with them. This is the Yoshi's Story soundtrack. I don't want to listen to the if you were requesting the Nier soundtrack. Wait, why am I saving this? It's not done yet. If you were requesting the Nier soundtrack, I'm not gonna listen to it yet because I have not played the game. We already listened to Yoshi's Island. This is Yoshi's Story. Hi, Katie. See if I can. That's Pietro. Is he? Don't bite the fucking foam thing. You can sniff it. Don't bite it. Don't bite it. No. Alright. I hope that came through. He purrs very loudly. Wanda is a very subtle purrer. She purrs, but it's more like vibration instead of sound. You can't really hear it, but you can feel it. I was gonna stream Nier. I have a thumbnail for it. But, my computer was, like, going down the shitter when I was trying to stream it. And so I was gonna, like, buy it on PS4 and play it on that, but I never did. My computer is committing seppuku. Wanda has stood up. Hi, kitty. You can also scruff them if they're young. For when you're cutting nails, that helps too. Should be a last resort though, because it's not very comfortable for anyone. Do you like beer ASMR? Can't say that I've ever listened to any beer ASMR. So I don't know. I don't really listen to any ASMR. Wanda is just staring at my computer now. Very powerful cat. Well, Beer, your cat's not fixed? Or is she not old enough yet? Pietro is now on the desk. This is very dangerous. Pietro has not learned that he is not supposed to touch the monitors yet, so occasionally he will bat at them and I'll have to put him down. Eat your cat. I have considered it many times. Oh yeah, I was gonna show the thumbnail for the Nier stream. It's old. Yeah, this is how old it is. It's not even the blue background. It's this font. So, I was gonna do it a long time ago. Oh, bye, Wanda. I think she got annoyed that Pietro was up here, even though he wasn't messing with her. No, not put down the cat as in kill them. Just gonna take him off the desk. He's just watching right now. He's being good. Hey, Pietro. Pietro deserves some tough love sometimes. This hoe a bully. He's very sweet. He is very very friendly and very nice, but he does not understand. He doesn't understand Wanda's very strong sensibilities of no. I just did, Moby. If you mean update it to the comics experiment, I'm not doing that. We're still, Benny said a while back that, like, internally, we're still gonna do the, like, the funny, like, the DNBE, or it'll change depending on the host. I'm not changing it to comics experiment. Also, just, I don't feel like designing that right now. I still call it RMBE internally, even when Rob's not on it, just because I'm so used to it. The title, I do CE instead of RMBE for the signifier on my files. My cat has a floofy butt. Very good. What kind of cat do you have, Alyssa? Pietro, please grow big and stop being annoying. That is my one request. Please. Please, Pietro. All I ask is one simple request. Once I set this up, I'm gonna... Okay, Maine Coon. Yeah, that's what I figured. I have a friend with a Maine Coon, and she is very good. I enjoy her. She's very skittish, but incredibly fluffy. Yahoo! I considered doing an Instagram for Wanda and Pietro, but I'm not about that life. This takes for fucking ever. This syncing process. If the files are already conformed, it doesn't take that long, but when you just put them in, they're not conformed yet, so it takes forever. What are you looking at, Pietro? Is Wanda over there? No? What the hell are you looking at? Stop. Don't look at ghosts. Is my leg fixed yet? It's getting there. I have no recollection of what I did to my leg. I just woke up and it just hurt. Just pulled something. I have no earthly idea. I bought some food on the way home last night. I really shouldn't have, because I was dead tired. But I didn't realize that until after I had bought the food. So I ate it and I'm like immediately passed out. It's a bunch of carbs too, so that didn't help. I didn't need that from a monetary perspective or from a health perspective. Just a bad decision all around. Diego. Good cat name. What you looking at, Pietro? Yeah? looking at me now. Oh, back to the monitor. You look at the mouse. Don't touch it, just look. Good kitty. Boo, 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 boo. Whoa. Some Castlevania shit now. It, like, flexed my thigh. Or not the thigh. The hamstring? Is that what that part is? Yeah. That's the part that hurts. That's what I pulled. Ugh. Don't give me the side eye. Fuck you, Pietro. What am I gonna eat? Could just make a sandwich. I mean, that's really all I have. I have sandwich. I could make some hamburger helper. I can make mac and cheese. I got options. Nothing too fancy. I tried the Beyond Meat burger. I bought a couple of those. Made them up. Pretty good. Very expensive though, in like relatively speaking. Bye, Mopey. Thanks for hanging out. I'm about to end anyway. After this, once this bar turns complete, I'm basically done. I think they also, my cats really don't like the noise that their water fountain makes when it's low. But I'm not sure. I can't hear it right now because I have headphones on and my mic's not picking it up. But when I went to the bathroom earlier, I heard it. And now this is set up for me to edit. Let me change the camera order real quick. There we go. Okay. That's it. I'm hungry as a goddamn truck. It's 1 o'clock? What the hell? Jesus. I thought it was like 11. Apparently it's 1. Christ. Alright. Bye everybody. I'm very hungry, so everybody else go eat. I'm gonna leave. Bye. Bye.